Tom Landry. For the Denver Broncos, the captains John Elway, Terrell Davis, Steve Atwater, Ray Crockett, Bill Romanowski, and Keith Burns. And for Atlanta, the captains for today, Chris Chandler, Jesse Tuggle, Morton Anderson, Tony Martin, and Chuck Smith. The referee, Bernie Kukar. Quickly, let's go.
In overtime 40 years ago. And
Bernie Kukar will have the ceremonial coin toss as the fans in the stands are being introduced to the players on the field, both current and past.
Kukar. To toss the coin, the captain of that 1958 Baltimore Colts team, Gino Marchetti.
Denver is the visiting team. They will make the call. Here's your commemorative coin. That is head. That is tail. What is your call, Captain Davis? You're going head? Please toss the coin. Tails it is. Atlanta on the toss. You want the ball? Which way do you want to go? Atlanta has won the toss. Will receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
So the Atlanta Falcons have won the toss of the coin. They have elected to receive. Let's go down to the sidelines. John Dockery's with us. JD, the emotion right now, what's everybody feeling on the field?
You know what? You get the feeling that both teams are fairly tense. But a nice moment happened only a little while ago, Howard, when Jamal Anderson and Terrell Davis, the two best rushers in the league this year, hugged one another and said good luck to one another. A nice moment. But what I get from the Denver Broncos is that, you know, they're going to open it up early, as you and Matt were talking about. Shannon Sharp, remember last year, Atlanta getting ahead early, throwing to Sharp, and then pounding with Terrell Davis. That's the sense that I get down here, that Denver will come out throwing the ball to Sharp. Back to you guys.
Well, you fellows, both John Dockery and yourself, Matt, you've been here before. The butterflies still churning just a little bit, and probably will continue so till that first hit.
Yeah, and I think it's important that the Atlanta Falcons get off to a fast start. It would really, really do them a world of good to have them start this game the way they did the NFC Championship game and go down and get themselves a score. It's important that they start relatively fast, offensively and defensively.
And they'd like to take the game to the fourth quarter and keep this game close if they can. Everybody feels that Denver's going to get out to a big lead. I don't subscribe to that. I think this Atlanta team proved to the world that not only can they play from the front, they can come back. They did it against Minnesota in the NFC Championship game, and they've got a game breaker in Tim Dwight on the opening kickoff who can go the distance anytime he touches the ball.
Oh, he's fast, and he's either extremely brave or really stupid the way he runs, because he doesn't see anything except field in front of him.
The Broncos have not allowed an opening drive touchdown this season in 18 games. Last one they allowed, last year's Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. Jason Elam, who tied Tom Dempsey's record with a 63-yard field goal during the regular season. He will kick it off for the Denver Broncos, who are wearing the visiting white jerseys. The Falcons are classified the home team, and they are wearing their black jerseys, where they are 8-0 this year, if you pay attention to those statistics, and I know you do.
I could care less. And the other thing is, the wind, the second time in a row now, has blown the ball off the tee, which just gives you a little bit of idea of how much swirling wind is here in Miami. Now, they were hoping that it was going to die down. And it's to the point now that they're going to have somebody hold it.
Yeah, Torrey James will hold it for Denver. Now, we just mentioned the fact that nobody has scored on the Broncos this year, not since last year's Super Bowl on the opening drive. Well, Atlanta scored on 7 opening possessions, 41 points, and a kickoff return for a touchdown by Tim Dwight this year against Carolina. And they scored on the opening drive against Minnesota 2 weeks ago in the NFC title game. With a flash bulb popping, we are ready to go. Tim Dwight from the 7, running to the right to the 20, to the 25-30. Tim Dwight brought down from behind, across the 35-yard line. A 30-yard return by the explosive Dwight, who's brought down by the holder on the kickoff, Torrey James. Here is Atlanta's starting lineup. Bob Whitfield and Ephraim Salaam, the tackles. Calvin Collins and Gene Williams, the guards. Robbie Tobeck, the center. Chris Chandler in his 11th season from Washington at quarterback. Jamal Anderson at running back. Kozlowski, the fullback. The wideouts, Terrence Mathis and Tony Martin. And O.J. Santiago, the tight end. The Heat sure start of the game. Sponsored by Heat, America's #1 Gasline antifreeze. Atlanta out of an I formation. They send Mathis in motion to the left. They stack the middle of the line, and Jamal Anderson across the 40 to the 45. And brought down at the 50-yard line, a gain of 13 on the play. But Jamal Anderson was brought down by the middle linebacker, Glenn Cadrez.
Yeah, not really much, and that surprises me. They go right away with an 8-man front. Jamal Anderson attacking the left side behind Whitfield and just powers his way for a 12-yard gain. They keep that sucker going on. This will be a real interesting one.
Well, nobody has run that kind of distance in postseason this year against the Denver Broncos. Kozlowski fronts Jamal Anderson in an eye at the midfield stripe. Matheson motion to the right side. Again, they go to Jamal Anderson, trying to find running room and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Here's Denver's defense. And it's an interesting one. Harold Hasselback at left end. Tonto Vasso the right side. Keith Traylor, Trevor Price, an outstanding tandem of tackles. Mobley, Cadrez, and Romanowski the linebackers. Crockett and Gordon the corners. Braxton and Atwater the safeties. And we'll also see some from Mike Lodish, who's playing in his 6th Super Bowl, an NFL record.
2 plays on offense, 2 plays of defense that the Broncos have gone with an 8-man front. Here now they're going with their 2 deep safeties are off, 7-man front.
2nd and 10, Atlanta. Chandler to throw, looking middle, throws it out to the right and completes the pass at the 45 of Denver to Tony Martin, the pickup of 5 on the play, maybe 4. He's defended by the sideline, actually, as he keeps his feet in bounds.
Yeah, but they were able to do is set up 3rd and short, which is where they wanted to stay. Denver Broncos are going to give them some funky coverages today. It's going to be incumbent upon their quarterback, Chris Chandler, to be able to see him and get the ball out. Now this is the big one, 3rd and about 5.5.
Tim Dwight in the wide to the left side for Atlanta. Blitz being shown from the outside by Denver. Chandler back to pass. Throws the lob down the right side. We had a flag, and we do.
Yeah, he's got him.
Tony Martin was being held
by Ray Crockett.
Well, it was either, I think it was Ray Crockett or Braxton. Apparently it was Crockett.
It was Crockett working on the outside. He was able to get on top of him and ran right down the right sideline. Howard, remember you and I were talking about it.
27 defense, first down.
Wrong number. Yeah, he's talking about Atwater. Atwater was actually sitting on top of it. They played man-to-man. They were going to try to run him up the sideline with Ray Crockett. Crockett kind of grabbed his hand. Actually, when I'm watching the replay, it looked like Martin may have grabbed him. Regardless, the flag was thrown, and it's a big first down.
25-yard penalty. Atlanta, 1st and 10 at the Denver 21-yard line. The pitch to Anderson, trying to run right inside the 20 and drives to the 14-yard line. Jamal Anderson broke 1 tackle and managed to get 7 yards on the play.
Looks like Jamal Anderson has brought his A game. Last week, he danced. I had a chance to talk to him right before the game, and he said, no dancing. I'm hitting it. And what he's going to do is be decisive, much like Terrell Davis. You stretch it. It's a pitch to the right as they're going right to left, and you get the flow of the defense going one way. The key is to be decisive and come back inside, which he did.
The only dancing he wants to do is the dirty bird of the end zone. He did it 14 times during the regular season. 2nd and 3. Out of the eye. Chandler sends Mathis in motion. Chandler on the draw to Jamal Anderson straight ahead to about the 11-yard line. Appears to be enough for an Atlanta first down. Atwater makes the tackle. Well, actually, the spot now is back at the 12-yard line. So we'll see where they put it down, and it is awfully close, obviously, to a first down.
Point to remember, Kozlowski, who is subbing for Bob Christensen, who had knee surgery, is really playing hurt. And he has a stretch fracture in his foot. And Dan Reeves told me the other day it could go any play. It could last for 1 play, could last the whole game. He's a key in this game. He's not as good as Christian, but he does the job inside to be able to protect Jamal Anderson.
Well, they stretch the chains down, and it is short by about 8 or 9 links of the chain. This is the first ever postseason meeting between Denver and Atlanta. They have met 10 times in the past during regular season play. And so now it is 3rd down, about 6 inches for a first down. And they bring in Tim Dwight to replace the tight end and actually fullback Kozlowski.
Tim Dwight's going to be out. Won't be surprised. They just hammer inside. They want to make sure they get at least the three points out of this.
1 setback. Jamal Anderson. They stack receivers 3 to the right side. Santiago in motion. The quarterback sneak by Chandler and a first down. Chandler gets about 2 on the play as he crosses up the Denver defense. Good block up front, Matt, by Robbie Tobeck and Gene Williams.
This is exactly what they needed to do. They come out as they're going right to left. They come out in what's called a bunch package, and it forces three of your receivers to the right side, so you have to have 3 defenders. Then Chandler just takes the snap and goes to his left. It's first down from the 10.
2 tight ends for the Falcons. The game's first drive. Backfield is split. Mathis in motion. Chandler on the handoff to Jamal Anderson. Runs it up inside to about the 8-yard line, maybe the 7. As he followed his tight end Santiago to the left side, and he is dropped by Atwater and Tanuvasa.
I like the way he's running in this first drive. And they've come out and they've attacked him, and they've done it impressively against an 8-man front, and that's key. Because remember, in an 8-man front, there's always the extra guy who's unaccounted for. And if you can run against that, chances are you're going to have some great success.
8th play of the drive, Jamal Anderson with 24 yards rushing on this first drive. At the 8-yard line of Denver, Chandler back to throw. In trouble now, sprints out to the right. Throws it short of the end zone and is tipped and incomplete. They were looking for the tight end, Santiago, and it was broken up on the play by Denver.
Nice job by Chandler to avoid the sack. They came clean off the right side as they're going right to left. The left defensive outside backer, Bill Romanowski, came untouched. He ducked underneath it. Kozlowski was able to get a block. He rolled to the right, and I believe the key to that was the receivers didn't move to him. Chandler's not one who's fleet of foot.
Again, Atlanta bunches up 3 receivers on the right side. Third down for the Denver 8. Mathis in motion. Chandler back to pass. Blitzes on it. Down he goes. Romanowski knocks him to the deck at the 17-yard line.
You'll take that. Not a bad sack. And a great defensive play and call by the Denver Broncos. Greg Robinson, their defensive coordinator. They came with 2. It's just numbers. More than you can handle. From the left side, they brought Darian Gordon. From the right side, they brought Bill Romanowski. Romanowski got the hit, I believe, because Jamal Anderson was the hot receiver to that side. There was no one to pick him up, and it was a sack.
Morton Anderson from 33 yards away. He's made 12 straight field goals in the playoffs. The left-footed kicker, and the field goal by Anderson is good. Officially a 32-yarder. And the Atlanta Falcons get on the board 3-0. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
What are you searching for? What would make you happy? A set of Winnie the Pooh nesting dolls? Well, there's this place. It's called eBay. That's EBAY.com. But hold on, e-shoppers. This is no internet version of any store you'll find anywhere else on Earth. eBay is your marketplace for the truly amazing stuff. Hey, where else would you find a 1903 copy of The Wizard of Oz, the one the author published himself, or that elusive Furby with the all-white tummy? eBay is the genuine article, an original. Kind of like pretty much everything you'll find there. About 1 million cool things every day, neatly organized into about 1,000 separate categories. It's no wonder eBay's been called the biggest treasure hunt on Earth. And once you find it, you decide what it's worth. Because everything is sold auction style. So come for a visit. www.ebay.com. The one and only. Oh, and happy hunting.
Atlanta goes 10 plays, 48 yards in 5 minutes, 25 seconds. Come away with the 3 points from Morton Anderson. And Denver now gets the ball for the first time almost 5.5 minutes into this football game.
The good news for them is they came up and stopped them when they had to create the 3 points. Nice call by Greg Robinson. And just watching Jamal Anderson as he came to the sideline, George Sevchik, running backs coach, had a little talking to him. I watched the thing unfold, and it looked to me like he had to check inside. He went hot to the left side. Romanowski came to that side and was able to hit him right in the face. There was nobody back there to protect Chandler. Either Chandler missed the hot read or Jamal Anderson missed the blitz pickup.
Vaughn Hebron awaiting the kickoff of Anderson. Hebron broke a 26-year-old Bronco record for a kickoff return for a touchdown here on this very field against Miami on December 21st. This after 1,362 returns by Denver kick returners. finally get one for a touchdown. The last one was 1972 by Randy Montgomery. Hebron has to track this one down. It gets through his wickets and goes into the end zone, and I have to down it there. And they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
That's a mistake, Howard, like Dave Meggett made last week against the Broncos. You never, ever, ever let a kick ball hit the ground. Ever.
So with 9:25 to go first quarter, it is Atlanta 3, Denver nothing. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? John Medani here from the Press Box and Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Is it going to be Denver? Is it going to be Atlanta? Does it matter? Are you having a good time watching the Super Bowl? Well, I have the answer. Come watch the Super Bowl with us. The Press Box is live out at Bad Boys Sports Bar. Come and join us. Bad Boys is easy to get to. If you're on I-35 north or south, it doesn't matter. You just take the 1325 exit. Then you get on the southbound frontage road where Antonio's Restaurant and Cantina was for the Texas Longhorn games. Your second right after Antonio's. Come on down Bratton Lane. You can't miss us. We're going to be here all during the game, and even after that, we're going to have a great time. We've got drink specials going on. We're drawing for free rounds of golf, free T-shirts. We've got the Magic Stocks, and we're also giving away free car washes. We've got a great time going, and if you're hungry, don't let that stop you either. Great special right now, a 10-ounce strip that includes a potato and salad. It's only $5.90, and it's until 10 o'clock. Come join us at Bad Boys, Sports Radio 1300 The Zone.
We should greet each and every day like a gift that's come our way. Share the rich Folgers brew and make someone's day brighter too. That aroma mountain grown. Pass it on, set the morning's tone. Feel the warmth and say, let's unwrap this day. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
We'd like to thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports. Also like to extend a special greeting to those of you around the world tuning us in on Armed Forces Radio. I'm Howard David along with Matt Millen. Matt, 30 years ago, almost to the day, I laid in my bunk bed in my barracks in Tripoli, Libya, listening to Joe Namath upset Baltimore. And now 30 years later, field is different, city's the same, but I think I've come a little distance to get here.
Yeah, but our boys were sitting over there doing the same thing, and all of you are out there listening. Hey, we're all behind you guys. Do a great job. Keep it going.
Team scoring first in Super Bowls, 23-9. Atlanta has an early 3-0 lead, and this is Denver's first offensive possession. They send McCaffrey and Smith to the left side. Griffith and Terrell Davis. Now Davis lines up wide to the right side. They send Griffith in motion, and Elway to throw. Looks for Terrell, hits him, and he drops the ball running a slant. Here is the offensive line for Denver. Tony Jones, Mark Schlereth, Tom Nalen, Dan Neal, Harry Swain. From left tackle to right tackle, Shannon Sharp, the mouthy tight end. Rod Smith and McCaffrey, the wideouts. Griffith and Terrell Davis, the backs. And, of course, John Elway in his second consecutive Super Bowl. Of course, one of 5 that he has played in.
Howard, second time in a row, they're going with an empty set. No one in the backfield. Same way they attacked the Atlanta Falcons last year when they blew them out in Atlanta.
Out of the shotgun, and rushes on. Elway to throw up the middle. Throws the pass and makes the connection. A first down over the middle across the 30-yard line. And a pickup completion to Shannon Sharp of 13 yards.
I talked about this right at the start of the game. How you treat Shannon Sharp is extremely important. What they're doing is they're going with 5 people out of base personnel. They're taking their running back and splitting them outside and forcing you to have to cover the inside people with your corners and safeties. That time Sharp got matched up on Eugene Robinson, and it was a first down.
Longest catch that Sharp has made in the playoffs, 13 yards. The pitch to Terrell Davis, running left. Couple of yards, perhaps. Here's Atlanta's defense. Archambault, Hall, Drownette, and Chuck Smith, the front 4. Cornelius Bennett, who has been to 5 Pro Bowls on his way, or playing actually in his 4th, I believe, Super Bowl. Jesse Tuggle in his 5th Pro Bowl season. Henri Crockett, the right side linebacker. Buchanan and Bradford, the corners. William White and Eugene Robinson, the subject of a massive blitz by the news media early this morning. We'll elaborate in a second if you're not aware. 2nd and 9. A pitch to Terrell Davis and gets a couple of yards to the 35-yard line where Shane Drownette, a former Denver Bronco, knocks him down.
Howard, Drownette made the play inside, and that's important because they've been able right now to hang with Terrell Davis and set up this 3rd down with their front 7. The other thing that's happening is Ray Buchanan is matching up man-to-man with Ed McCaffrey. And so they're going to let Buchanan take care of McCaffrey and then let the other 10 take care of the rest of the Denver offense.
Willie Green is in as an extra wideout, and Atlanta goes with 6 defensive backs. 3rd down and 7 at the Bronco 35. Elway out of a shotgun, drops back to throw. Throws it over the middle and connects. Rod Smith inside the 50. Smith to the 40. Down the sidelines to the 30. And finally runs out of room inside the Atlanta 25-yard line.
Broncos are going left to right. Rod Smith was lined up on the right side in a 2-receiver set. He went motion in and back out. Randy Fuller had the coverage. Elway threw to the inside. Fuller tried to jump underneath. Big mistake. Keep your head up and try to work to the receiver. Smith works all the way across the field, shakes off one defender, gets to the left sideline, and takes it all the way down to the 24-yard line.
A 41-yard pickup, longest allowed by the Falcons in the playoffs. 2 blown tackles by the Falcons. Terrell Davis running right. Knocked down at about the 22-yard line by Lester Archambault. Along with it, Shane Trounette also in on the play.
Jonette is very good inside. But he can be overpowered. As the game goes on, he could have a problem. The guy who has to come up big is Travis Hall. He's over Dan Neal, and that's a mismatch that favors Travis Hall. The other guy who's playing very, very well is Lester Archambault, who had a 4.4 GPA in high school out of a 4.0. Very, very bright guy.
That doesn't equate.
Well, it is when you're that smart. See, for you and I, we don't get it.
Yeah, I get it. I don't get it that time. Terrell Davis.
He got it.
Inside the 20 and a 1st down at about the 14-yard line.
Just a straight dive to the left side. Nice job by Mark Schlereth. Nice job by Nail in the center. Also, Tony Jones on that left side. And then Howard Griffiths comes down. What it is the T would represent the tackle. The F represents the fullback, and in this instance, that's Howard Griffith.
Premature on the call of the 1st down. They're bringing the sticks out. And while I have a moment, Matt, and I don't give a lot of personal messages very frequently, but my mother is in a hospital in Brooklyn, New York, trying to recover from a variety of things, and I wish her well and hope she gets better very soon.
Get better, Mom. We're on your side.
It is enough for a Denver 1st down. John Elway, by the way, has already passed Jim Kelly on the all-time list with 38 passing yards he needed. He's got far more than that on that one play to Rod Smith. He now passes Kelly for 3rd place in Super Bowl yardage. Next on the list, Terry Bradshaw, the all-time leader, Joe Montana. 8th play of the drive.
And clock is down to zeros. Elway pointed it out before the officials could. They'll reset that thing at 25 seconds.
Atlanta average giving up 18 points per game this year, 4th in the National Football League. They gave up 27 at Minnesota, but only 7 in the second half. See, to me, Matt, that was...
penalty. The clock was not reset. 25.
To me, that was the most impressive thing. Atlanta scored first, then went down 20-7, and came back on the road.
Yeah, and if they're going to be impressive right now, and we're at the 5.5-minute mark, it's all right to have given this up right now, but now they have to hold them to 3 instead of 6.
1st and 10, Denver at the 14 of Atlanta. McCaffrey in motion. Elway on the draw to Davis, and a terrific play in the backfield by Chuck Smith.
Same play, counter OT. Chuck Smith recognized it beautifully at that right defensive end and beat Dan Neal to the punch, ducked under him, and made the tackle in the backfield for a loss of about 1.
Terrell Davis, 5 carries, just a dozen yards. As Atlanta goes, or rather Denver goes, with 2 tight ends.
Here they go again. They're going to spread everybody out. Shannon Sharp is drawing William White. That is a mismatch.
2nd and 11, Broncos. Terrell Davis in motion, Elway to throw. The slant is caught by Sharp inside the 5 to the goal line and knocked down just shy of the goal line as he is spilled end over end, but a 14-yard pickup. But Shannon Sharp shaking up on the play. He's hobbling as he goes to the bench.
And that looks like one of those knees to the thigh or something. He should be okay, hopefully, based on my professional medical opinion.
Particularly at this distance.
Yeah, and well, they line up outside on William White, like I mentioned. He turned him over to the inside safety. Eugene Robinson had a chance again to make the play, went for the ball. Hit him right in the face, and you're fine.
1st and goal, Denver at the half-inch line. They give it inside. Howard Griffith, touchdown. Touchdown, Denver Broncos to Howard Griffith. And the Broncos on their first offensive possession cross the Falcon goal line.
And they did it on the arm of Elway, not on the legs of Davis. I will caution all you Atlanta Falcon fans with this. Elway's arm usually loosens up Davis's legs.
Elway 3 of 4 on the drive for 67 yards, 41 of those to Rod Smith and Jason Elam. Out of the hold of the punter, Tom Ruin, for the point after. A lot of people thought it's going to be a high-scoring game. And Elam with the point after gives Denver a 7-3 lead with 3:55 left. First quarter in Miami. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
You know, when you bought your first Chevy, you were able to pay for it. We come from the kinds of people who buy Chevys. Hard-working people pursuing their dreams. Maybe the package has changed a little bit, but the heart's still the same. You got to find somebody to love you. Someone to be there for you night and day. Someone to share out with and be part of you. So put your trust in a new Chevrolet.
See your Texas Chevy dealer today.
Hey, everybody. John Medani with the Press Box and Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We're out here at Bad Boys. Hey, Denver, Atlanta, what was your pick? How's it going? Well, one thing I do know, you're not out here watching it with us, and you should be. We're going to be here for the entire game, giving away T-shirts, free rounds of golf, car washes. We've got cigars out here, and we've got great drink specials and food specials. Can you tell we're already having a good time? Come on out, because we're going to be here for the entire game. Sports Radio 1300, The Zone at Bad Boys. Come see us.
Odds you'll never run out of gas. 1 out of 2. Odds Rogaine Extra Strength will work for you. 4 out of 5. That's the Rogaine success rate. For 4 men out of 5 with moderate hair loss, Rogaine Extra Strength for men regrows hair or at least stops hair loss. Use as directed, results will vary. Not everyone responds to Rogaine, but most do. Odds you'll marry your first love. 2 out of 5. Odds Rogaine Extra Strength will work for you. 4 out of 5.
Oh, Jason Elam to kick off, following the little sprint by Howard Griffith, all of about 6 inches. But it doesn't matter how long he crossed the goal line. A short kickoff. Kozlowski picks it up at the 13, across the 20, and to about the 25. Ryan Kozlowski did the smart thing and took it about 15 yards. That'll take us to a commercial break with 3:46 to go first quarter. Broncos 7, Falcons 3. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
I'm with star running back Terrell Davis in the Denver Broncos locker room. Terrell, you were awesome today. Let me ask you.
Terrell, time for your chunky soup.
Mom, I'm in the middle of an interview.
It's Chunky Sirloin Burger with loads of vegetables and beefy sirloin burgers grilled to perfection. It's going to fill you up right.
Thanks, Mom. Are those burgers grilled on miniature grills with teeny tiny spatulas?
Now you're asking the tough questions.
Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger. Soup that eats like a meal.
New state-of-the-art planes. They're at the heart of the new TWA. That's why we're renewing our fleet, adding 1 new plane every 10 days this year. And 125 more are on the way. It's the largest aircraft order in our 75-year history, and the most significant sign yet of TWA's commitment to today's aviators, who choose us for over 770 flights a day to more than 90 destinations worldwide. We're TWA. We want to be your airline.
Okay, car, start.
But I'm so cold.
Who said that?
It's your car, sugar. You know what I need.
Yeah, I do.
I need heat, baby.
Heat?
Heat, gas line, antifreeze. You hate it when I freeze up. When you can't get me started.
Oh, yeah.
Just pour heat in my tank every time you fill me up. Really gets my motor running.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I'll get heat today.
You turn me on. H-E-E-T. Heat. America's #1 gas line antifreeze.
Baby, you're not going to believe this. Only another $93,973 on our credit card, and we'll have enough miles for a free trip to Borneo.
Oh, yeah? Where's Borneo?
Send your old credit card packing. Introducing Discover Platinum with a new low rate on balance transfers and a cashback bonus award.
Do we know anyone in Borneo?
I'll get a map.
Now more than ever, it pays to discover Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER to apply. Cashback bonus up to 1% paid yearly based on annual level of purchases.
Denver goes 10 plays, 80 yards in 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Howard Griffith with the first touchdown of the game at 7-3 Denver. Atlanta with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They have 9 men on the line of scrimmage, Denver. They blitz Chandler over the middle, the pass incomplete. Looking for Santiago, the tight end, well covered by Bill Romanowski.
Nice job by Romanowski. I talk so much about Shannon Sharp. O.J. Santiago is one who could be a key. And it's going to come down to Bill Romanowski when they go to man like they did. You mentioned 9 at the line of scrimmage. They emptied their secondary right in the middle. Braxton went to Kozlowski. That meant Santiago had a chance to get inside, but good coverage by Romanowski.
Backfield is split, 2nd and 10 Atlanta. Kozlowski in motion to the right. Romanowski blitzes the inside handoff. Jamal Anderson across the 30 to the 35 and knocked down at the 36-yard line by Steve Atwater. Once again, speaking of Shannon Sharp, let's go down to John Dockery on the sidelines. John?
You know, Howard, Shannon Sharp was on the sidelines. They were checking his right knee, and then he took off his left shoe, put it back on, and he was kind of walking on the sidelines, jogging a little bit. There was a little bit of a hitch in his get-up, and the word from the bench is he's questionable, even though he's walking along the sidelines and jogging some.
All right, Doc, and you know that his gums are still moving, though.
Well, he's got a twisted knee, and it is questionable. Good job, Doc.
3rd and 1, Atlanta. Santiago in motion. Anderson running left and dropped in the backfield.
Nice job by Alfred Williams. Great job. They came with trips to one side as they're going right to left. Santiago came back in motion, and they were going to trap Alfred Williams. He hit Williams, and Williams spun back to the outside just as Jamal Anderson anticipated breaking to the outside. A nice job by Williams, and a great tackle, and sets up this punt.
Darian Gordon, who's had 6 punt returns for touchdowns in his career, awaits the punt of Dan Straczynski. Good snap from center. And Straczynski sends a high kick, probably will not be returned. Gordon lets it hit. It is touched by one of the Falcons and downed at about the 23-yard line. But it'll be a touch at the 25-yard line. So Straczynski does a good job of preventing a run back, a 39-yard punt. And it will be Denver's ball. They lead it 7-3 with 2:12 to go. First quarter. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Hi, I'm David Orrick. Recently, Condé Nast Traveler magazine rated the Windsor Court Hotel the best hotel in the world. And the best hotel in the world uses my 8-pound Orrick XL vacuum. Coincidence? See for yourself. Try my incredibly powerful 8-pound Orrick XL in your home risk-free for 15 days. Call 1-800-989-4200. 1-800-989-4200. My 8-pound Orrick XL is designed for world-class hotels and world-class homes like yours.
Yeah, in my job, I'm on my feet pretty much all day long.
Ray Hubbard of Ellicott City, Maryland, talks about Gold Bond medicated foot powder.
Gold Bond foot powder makes my feet feel fresh and dry and tingly all day long.
Gold Bond medicated foot powder. Only Gold Bond absorbs moisture, controls odor with baking soda, and stops foot itch.
I use Gold Bond in my shoes and on my feet every day. It keeps me feeling crisp and clean.
Gold Bond medicated foot powder. 3 foot relievers in one.
Gold Bond foot powder is very effective.
Use only as directed.
Do you know what's in your credit files? You should. Others do. Now you can check your credit files easily with CreditCom. Authorized by the 3 national credit bureaus, CreditCom combines all 3 files into one easy-to-read profile of your personal credit history. If any information is wrong, CreditCom tells you how to make it right. Take control of your credit. Order your profile today for only $29.95 plus $2.95 shipping and handling. Call 800-777-9700. That's 800-777-9700. Play basketball twice a week.
Atlanta.
John R. here. Rent-a-Rex rates are as low as half that of the big guys at the airport. So why drive way out to the airport to pay?
Giving away T-shirts, free rounds of golf, car washes. We've got cigars out here, and we've got great drink specials and food specials. Can you tell we're already having a good time? Come on out, because we're going to be here for the entire game. Sports Radio 1300, The Zone at Bad Boys. Come see us.
All sports, all the time. Sports Radio 1300, The Zone.
Elway in Denver with the ball at their own 25-yard line, moving from left to right on your radio. Terrell Davis straight ahead, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Also part of our broadcast crew for Super Bowl 33 is WQAM Radio's Steve Goldstein, who's in the stands, and he's got the winningest coach of all time alongside.
Indeed, Howard, the winningest coach of all time, Don Shula, with me. This day for you, Coach. You coached in so many of these big games for the Dolphins. What's it like?
Well, everything has changed since Super Bowl III. That's been a long time ago. And this two great teams, and Elway on that first drive at Denver's, throwing that ball hard and right on the money, and they're making the big catches.
Okay, Howard.
Elway throws to Shannon Sharp, who's back in the ball game. Incomplete on the play. It was a 2nd and 4. Now 3rd and 4.
Trying to spread them out again. Again, they're going with that empty set where there's no one in the backfield. Denver trying to spread out Atlanta's defense to create matchups and mismatches. In this instance, it's Shannon Sharp. They zoned it. He just set down at the first down mark, but they misfired and set up this 3rd down.
Atlanta with 6 defensive backs. Denver 3rd and 4 from their own 31. Willie Green is in as an extra wideout. Elway out of his shotgun. Smith in motion to the right. Elway sprints right, throws it on the run. Intercepted. Picked off by Ronnie Bradford off the deflection, and the game's first turnover.
No deflection, Howard. What it was a drop pass by Shannon Sharp right in his hand.
Deflected off his shoulder pads.
Should have never dropped the ball. They had him matched up with Bradford in the slot, ran a 5-yard out, hit him right in the face. Should have just been a catch and a first down. Instead, Bradford picks it up, and the big turnover that falls in Atlanta's favor.
Atlanta led the NFL with a +20 in the turnover giveaway ratio. The first turnover by the Broncos this postseason, and they say that you win Super Bowls and games in general by winning the turnover battle, and Atlanta's got it 1st and 10 at Denver's 36. Terrence Mathis in motion to the right. Chandler with a pitch to Tim Dwight. Running right, inside the 35 and back to the 30-yard line.
Oh, Howard, that was a nice play that people won't see by Tyrone Braxton. They were going to throw with Tim Dwight, who has an excellent arm, Reeves told me yesterday. Dan Reeves told us Tim Dwight can throw the ball. They brought him back in motion as they're going right to left. They were going to throw that ball down the field to Tony Martin. Martin was covered by Braxton, and he had to pull it down. In fact, he picked up about, 5 or 6 yards.
He got 6 to be sure. 2nd and 4 from the Denver 30. Mathis in motion. Jamal Anderson straight ahead into the secondary and drives to about the 26-yard line and close to an Atlanta first down.
That was power right on Glenn Cadrez in the middle. When he squares his shoulders and pushes and pushes that crack in the line, he's pretty darn good. That time they just ran right up inside the middle, and they were going to make it just be a power game. Whitfield did a nice job. Santiago did a nice job. And Cadrez did a good job of preventing the first down because he hit him right square in the chest.
3rd down in the yard. And now apparently they want a measurement, or we have we're going to come to the end of the quarter as the clock now shows 5 seconds and counting.
That's a great first quarter.
Very exciting first quarter, and after one, it's 7-3 Denver. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
What if your car slips off the road in Slippery Rock, or you need the name of a mechanic in Mechanicsville? Well, if your car is insured by State Farm, just look up the local State Farm agent. Almost anywhere you travel, whether it's a big metropolis or just a little one, a good neighbor is nearby to help. So if your car gets stolen in Thief River Falls, or you have some trouble in Paradise, there's a State Farm agent there to help you, just like at home.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Question. What happens when a company that spends every moment of every day thinking about SUVs starts with a clean sheet of paper? Find out this spring when Isuzu introduces their revolutionary 215-horsepower Rally Sport-inspired 4WD Isuzu V-Cross. As the people at Open Road magazine declare, the V-Cross is quite simply the love child of a sport utility vehicle and a sports car. We hope you're ready for this new Isuzu V-Cross. You won't want to miss this one. Isuzu. Go farther.
It's 1925, and you've just learned that Charleston, or marveled at the latest innovation for cars, headlights, but are in the dark about a breakthrough made that year at Chevron, the world's first shatter-free motor oil. In fact, decades of firsts have made a motor oil like Chevron Supreme possible, formulated to maximize the life of your engine. So isn't it time you changed your oil to Chevron Supreme?
Nothing beats getting something for free, and right now at Suncoast Motion Picture Company, when you buy 3 select DVD titles, you'll get a 4th one free. That's right, just buy 3 regularly priced DVDs from Warner Home Video, and we'll give you a 4th of equal or lesser value free. Heck, your Monday nights are already free, and after the Super Bowl, your Sundays will be too. So satisfy all your off-season viewing needs. Head for one of 400 Suncoast stores in malls near you for great DVD movies. But hurry, this deal's only good until February 6th.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33 on Westwood One.
Sports Radio! The government calls us KBET-AM Austin. Our friends call us Sports Radio 1300, The Zone.
Our David Matt Millen in Miami. 3rd down, less than a yard for Atlanta. Jamal Anderson trying to surge, make that extra move. The official to the near sideline has got him marked right on the 26-yard line. That would not be enough for a first down.
That's a bad spot. If they're going to put it at that official's, that's a bad spot. Because he was up closer to the 25.
I thought so.
Dan Reeves isn't pleased with it either, watching him down here right in front of us. That's it. I don't think that's a good spot.
By the way, Shannon Sharp went to the Denver dressing room. He had what looked like either a hyperextension of the knee or something pertaining to the knee, and he has gone to the locker room. And that means this game ought to be quiet for a while without hearing Shannon.
Now, Glenn Cadrez lost in all that. Made a great play. Nice hit, second one in a row. Remember, he stopped them short to set this 3rd and 1 up, and they're going to be short by about a half a yard. Personally, I think that's a bad spot, but what do I know?
Well, they're going to go for it, Atlanta will. They trail 7-3. Early stages, 2nd quarter. After the turnover, off the hands of Shannon Sharp, picked off by Ronnie Bradford. Now Atlanta's got 3 tight ends in the ball game. Santiago, Kozlowski, and Smith.
Howard, this is a major time for your offensive line to gain a little bit of an upper hand for the power game. Or your defensive line.
7-8-man front for Denver. Smith in motion. The pitch to Anderson. It's trying to run wide. They're not going to do it. They lose yardage on the play.
I don't like that call.
You got to question the call by Atlanta running it wide when you need a half a yard straight ahead.
Well, what he's probably thinking is they stacked it inside 2 plays in a row. They went with the power game. This time he tries to pitch it to the outside, and Jamal Anderson, in order to do that, has to be able to get the corner quick. Bill Romanowski did a great job of making him go sideways. And yeah, he got his rear end kicked at the point, but he made him bounce it out, and that's the difference in the play.
Glenn Cadrez played a big role on that play. It remains 7-3 Denver. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
John R. here. Rent-A-Wreck's rates are as low as half that of the big guys at the airport. So why drive way out to the airport to pay extra? Maybe folks just don't know they could rent a nice, clean, nearly new car, truck, or van from Rent-A-Wreck and save a bundle. So I'm here to tell you, you can rent a nice, clean, nearly new car, truck, or van from Rent-A-Wreck and save a bundle. Call 800-991-4211. Need a ride? No problem. Free pickup and drop-off, too. 800-991-4211 for Rent-A-Wreck. And don't let the name fool you.
Commercials are more effective if you use real people. So on the line is Angie McPhee, a Geico auto insurance customer who saved over $300. This is not an actor we hired to play Angie McPhee. It's the Angie McPhee. So in your own words, tell us, are you Angie McPhee?
Yes.
There. Unmistakable proof that Geico customers are real and save money. In 15 minutes, you could save 15%. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Our David Matt Millen in the booth. In the stands, Steve Goldstein with a guy who once upon a time coached a Super Bowl or several.
Well, he knows a lot about the big game. I'm with Coach Tom Landry from the Dallas Cowboys. First off, Coach, your feelings on Dan Reeves with you as a player and a coach, what he's gone through this year coaching this Falcon team.
Well, actually, it was a tremendous year for him. You couldn't say anything that wouldn't be a lot of accolades with him. So we just feel like that he's got Atlanta ready to go, and he's knocking them around. And as long as he's got to do that, he's got to handle Elway. If he can do that, then I think he'll be fine.
Coach Tom Landry, Howard.
All right, Steve, Elway to throw over the middle and wide open. The tight end, Byron Chamberlain, who's dropped across the 40-yard line for a first down. It is Chamberlain in the game because Denver's starting tight end, Shannon Sharp, taken to the locker room with a knee injury. And that will now become, I guess, Matt, one of the defining moments of this game.
Yeah, except that Chamberlain comes in, gets matched up man-to-man with Cornelius Bennett, and he beats him to the inside, where you'd think that would be an advantage for the Falcons. Heck, Elway comes right back and shoves it down your throat.
13 yards on the play. McCaffrey in motion. 1st and 10, Denver. Terrell Davis running straight ahead and dropped in his tracks after a gain of a yard. We talked about Shannon Sharp on the knee. John Dockery on the sidelines. What's his status?
Howard, they took Shannon Sharp to the locker room, as you mentioned, and what they are doing, they are taping his right knee. He's expected to return. And, Howard, I watched him on the sidelines, and he was able to jog and move along, so I would anticipate that he would be back.
All right, Doc. Gain of about a yard, 2nd and 9. Denver from their own 43-yard line.
Nice job by Travis Hall in that last play, stuffing everything up inside.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Terrell Davis now drops back into the backfield, takes the pitch and runs right. Cuts back left, inside the 45 to the 50-yard line.
Spreading them out again. That's that same empty set. Broncos are going right to left. They come out with a tight end, then they take their backs and split them out, and effectively giving you no running backs. Then they took Terrell Davis, motioned him back as he's going to the right. They pitch it to him, and what it does is it spreads your defense. And then, in effect, you get Terrell Davis looking at lesser people inside, then he can hit that cutback lane.
Good point. 3rd down on the yard for Denver from the 49 of Atlanta. Denver has a 7-3 lead with 12 and a half to play in the second quarter. Elway, deep drop, throws it over the middle and is complete. Chamberlain, the tight end, for a 1st down at the Atlanta 46-yard line.
Nice job by Chuck Smith of getting some pressure on Elway. Got a hit on him. The Bronco offensive linemen aren't too thrilled about it. If they don't like it, they should block him. And a good job of Chamberlain working back underneath in the zone. Cornelius Bennett waited for him, but not before Elway could fit it in there for a 1st down.
Derek Lavelle checks into the Denver backfield, the former San Francisco 49er. In his 8th season from Oregon.
Sharp is returning back onto the field.
McCaffrey in motion to the left. Elway, play action, rolling right. Little bootleg, looking to throw it on the run. He does and connects. The completion of Rod Smith inside the Atlanta 30-yard line, a gain of 18 yards.
Howard, it's called a waggle. As they're going right to left, Elway fakes to the left. Smith is lined up wide to the right. He'll be working on Bradford, and you just run a go route straight down the field. And then you take your tight end from the left side, drag him all the way across, and you're reading them. As Elway rolls to you, if the tight end is covered, you look to that comeback. If that's not there, you run. In this instance, Smith is open, and he hits him on the comeback for a 1st down.
Second catch for 59 yards for Rod Smith. Elway, quick drop, throws it out to the left and knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Chuck Smith. Chuck Smith it was taken away from him by a questionable call in the Atlanta-San Francisco playoff game where he recovered what appeared to be a Terry Kirby fumble and returned it for a touchdown. It was taken away. That would have given Atlanta a 21-0 lead in that game. That one play turned it around to where it was 14-10.
Yeah, and what they did here is they just dropped him off in his zone blitz. Chuck Smith had the wherewithal as he's dropping to get his hands up and knock that ball down and set up this 2nd and 10.
From the 27 of Atlanta. McCaffrey in motion to the right. They haven't looked his way yet. Elway, the draw to Terrell Davis with a hole inside the 20, inside the 15, and tripped up at the 14-yard line. Ray Buchanan makes the tackle, but a 13-yard gain for Terrell Davis.
They caught him in a blitz. They came up right to the outside, and the best way to beat a blitz is to run right at it. And a nice block by Howard Griffith on the linebacker, Jesse Tuggle. And once you beat that, it's over. Because of the blitz to the outside, you have the middle of the field to work with. They're in man-to-man coverage, and it sets up another 1st down.
1st and 10, Denver at the 14 of Atlanta. Again, the draw to Terrell Davis, spins away from a tackler inside the 10, drives to the 8-yard line.
Howard, remember earlier what I said. The arm of John Elway will loosen the legs of Terrell Davis. They're going to throw, spread you out, make you move, and then they're going to hit you right square in the groin, and it's going to come on the legs, maybe stomach, on the legs of Terrell Davis. All it is just well-conceived football by Mike Shanahan, who, in my opinion, is the most aggressive play caller in this league.
Derek Lavelle replaces Terrell Davis. 46 yards rushing for TD. McCaffrey in motion to the right. Elway sprints right. Looks to throw it on the run. And just throws it away as he had Lester Archambault in his face.
Good coverage by the Atlanta Falcons. And also a smart play by John Elway. Elway, who could be playing in his last game, although if they win, I have a sneaky suspicion he's going to come back to try to make it 3 in a row.
Which nobody's ever done.
Yeah, I would do that if I were him. But anyway, what he still has is mobility. And he has the strong arm. And talking to him this week, the interesting thing he said was, if we played every 2 weeks, heck, I could play forever. Which just lets you know how his body wears down from week in and week out.
Timeout is taken with 9:25 to go second quarter. 7-3 Broncos, and they're driving again. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
What are you searching for? What would make you happy? A set of Winnie the Pooh nesting dolls? Well, there's this place. It's called eBay. That's EBAY.com. But hold on, e-shoppers. This is no internet version of any store you'll find anywhere else on Earth. eBay is your marketplace for the truly amazing stuff. Hey, where else would you find a 1903 copy of The Wizard of Oz, the one the author published himself, or that elusive Furby with the all-white tummy? eBay is the genuine article, an original. Kind of like pretty much everything you'll find there. About 1 million cool things every day, neatly organized into about 1,000 separate categories. It's no wonder eBay's been called the biggest treasure hunt on Earth. And once you find it, you decide what it's worth. Because everything is sold auction style. So come for a visit. www.ebay.com. The one and only. Oh, and happy hunting.
Hey, everybody. John Medani with the Press Box and Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We're out here at Bad Boys. Hey, Denver, Atlanta, what was your pick? How's it going? Well, one thing I do know, you're not out here watching it with us, and you should be. We're going to be here for the entire game, giving away T-shirts, free rounds of golf, car washes. We've got cigars out here, and we've got great drink specials and food specials. Can you tell we're already having a good time? Come on out, because we're going to be here for the entire game. Sports Radio 1300, The Zone at Bad Boys. Come see us.
A reminder to stay tuned for the Campbell's Chunky Soup halftime report with Tommy Ty. Tommy's guests, NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue and Gloria Estefan. Who do you think Tommy's going to spend more time with? Brought to you by Campbell's Chunky Soup, the soup that eats like a meal.
Just watching the Denver sideline, Shannon Sharp did return, put a towel over his head, and he's sitting right there on the bench on the 40-yard line. Chamberlain is in the game for him, and the good news for your Denver Bronco fans, it hasn't slowed down John Elway or Terrell Davis at all, and Shanahan continues to call the same game plan. Chamberlain's made 2 catches since Sharp's been gone.
3rd down and 4, Denver. For Atlanta, a critical 3rd down play. Elway out of a shotgun.
Sharp is in the game right now.
Rod Smith in motion to the right. Elway takes the snap, rolls right, sets up, throws underneath, incomplete. Pass was at the feet of Chamberlain, the tight end, and it will bring on Jason Elam for a field goal opportunity for the Denver Broncos.
I'm sorry, that was Chamberlain who I looked at when I thought, how the heck did he get from the 40 onto the field that fast?
But the only thing that talks faster than his feet is those teeth in his mouth.
Yeah, well, and he does a good job of both. He's an excellent player. In that particular instance, Cornelius Bennett got matched up man-to-man, did a nice job, and really saved this series because Denver looked like they were unstoppable, and they have a chance just to hold it to 7 right here.
26-yard field goal attempt by Jason Elam, splits the uprights. 9:17 to play, second quarter. Broncos 10, Falcons 3. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
As you listen to the game, remember, Diamond Shamrock is rooting for you. Really, we like your team best. They've got the coolest uniforms, the superior mascot, and the cutest cheerleaders. We hope the other guys lose. In fact, we hate them. Their cheerleaders use only one pom-pom, and their mascot resembles a poodle. So after your team crushes those losers, celebrate with your favorite ice-cold beverage, a fresh deli sandwich, and a tank full of quality gasoline from Diamond Shamrock. We're for you. We're for everyone.
Starting Monday, you'll never see the world the same way again because you're going on the inside, and nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Get behind the scenes. Get access. You're going on the inside. The premiere series, every weeknight at 7 Central, 9 Mountain on the Discovery Channel. How do they put the cream in a Twinkie? Get the scoop on snacks you love both then and now on the inside of our favorite fun foods. Monday at 7 Central, 9 Mountain on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world. She traveled the country as no First Lady ever had before, and focused our attention on the parts of it we could not or would not see. She made us care, and in doing so, Eleanor Roosevelt made this country a better place for us all.
We must allow the young people of today to think over a wide field, even if we disagree with them.
State Farm salutes life heroes because State Farm understands life.
Do you know what's in your credit files? You should. Others do. Now you can check your credit files easily with CreditCom. Authorized by the 3 national credit bureaus, CreditCom combines all 3 files into one easy-to-read profile of your personal credit history. If any information is wrong, CreditCom tells you how to make it right. Take control of your credit. Order your profile today for only $29.95 plus $2.95 shipping and handling. Call 800-777-9700. That's 800-777-9700.
So Jason Elam to kick off for the Denver Broncos to Tim Dwight, a game breaker, and the Falcons right now could use a big play, even though it's only 10-3. Elam with a kickoff, and this will be returned by Dwight from the 9-yard line. Running left to the 20, up to the 25, and they drop him at the 26-yard line. So they are keeping Tim Dwight under wraps and preventing him from busting a big play as he is tackled by Anthony Lynn.
Howard, the Falcons have been held in check so far at the 9-minute mark of this first half. And the key, ironically, has been the fact that the Falcons haven't been able to throw the football. They've run okay, but they have not thrown at all. They've only tried to throw the ball 4 times. One of them was a sack. They need to loosen up that arm.
Haven't had a first down since their opening drive. Chandler back to Thrall, throws it out to the left and connects to Mathis.
Nice.
Terrence Mathis across the 40 to about the 43-yard line, and enough for an Atlanta first down, a gain of 16 yards.
That looked like nice game planning. So you're going to keep your safety, Tyrone Braxton, up to try to take care of that running game with Jamal Anderson, who you've continued to pound. You have Darian Gordon lined up wide to the right as they're going left to right, working on Mathis. Go play action. He gives the cushion. First down.
First connection to Terrence Mathis. He's out to the right, Martin to the left. High formation. Jamal Anderson, the deep back, and Chandler to throw. Has time. Throws it out to the right, and the catch is made. Mathis breaks the tackle inside the 30 to the 26 or 7-yard line of Denver. Cadrez makes the tackle and a pickup of 30 yards on the play.
That time, Mathis lined up wide to the right. An excellent job, the offensive line, of protecting, and a good job by Jamal Anderson of picking up Romanowski. On the outside, Mathis is working on Ray Crockett. And Crockett got turned around. He broke to the outside. The ball was there. He went for the hit, missed him, and Cadrez ran him down about 8 yards later, and they're at the 27-yard line going in.
Mathis caught 1,100 yards worth of balls this year, 64 receptions during the regular year. Kozlowski in motion. Play action, Chandler throws and connects to Anderson inside the 20. And out of bounds, he play fake to Jamal Anderson and then went right back to his star running back, who was finally brought down by Darian Gordon inside the Denver 20-yard line at the 17.
Howard, we talked about being able to open it up with throwing, and it had to happen, and they came right out and did that. And you also said play action. This was a great one because it held everyone. It held everyone, and then Jamal Anderson carried the fake out into the flat, and then what happened is they had to come up with the corner and set up this second and about 1.
5-man Denver front, out of the eye. Mathis in motion. Anderson running left, trying to squeeze through, and we'll see if his second surge got him enough.
Yeah, he did.
It appears so. Hey, by the way, in Super Bowl 18,
first down.
It is a first down. In Super Bowl 18, Redskin guard Russ Grimm said, you know, I'd run over my mother to win a Super Bowl, to which I was told, you said, I'd run over Grimm's mother, too.
Yeah, I would. What the heck? Until I met Russ's mom, and I felt so bad, I apologized for a week.
First and 10, Falcons at the Denver 15-yard line. 10-3 Denver. Atlanta trying to tie it up. Chandler to Anderson on the handoff, running behind Kozlowski inside the 15 to the 14-yard line.
Nice job by Gene Williams, who came on a pull to the outside, and an even better job by Kozlowski, who got a couple of hits inside. Now what they're going to do again is they're staying with that counter OF. It's the same thing as the OT that Russ Grimm used to run with John Riggins. They come back to the inside as they're going left to right. They're going to run to their right side. Kozlowski gets a block. Williams gets a block. And then Jamal Anderson really does a nice job of seeing it and hitting it up inside.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4 at the 9 of Denver. 2 tight ends, blitz being shown. They hand to Anderson, and he is upended at about the 8-yard line. A good run blitz there. Nice. Let's quickly go down to the sidelines and John Dockery.
You know, Howard, Matt, and you were just talking about it. Atlanta's got the thing rolling here because they've been throwing on first down in this drive. 3 times they threw on first down, and it doesn't allow Denver to get their package, their nickel and dime in, so they're getting the matchup they want, Matt, as you were saying.
Well, Doc, we're going to come down to you pretty soon again because Darian Gordon is writhing in pain, so get your feelers out. He'll be over to you in a second.
All right, I'll keep an eye on him.
Atlanta, 1 of 4 on third down plays. Denver leads at 10-3, and a timeout has been taken with 5:32 to go until halftime. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Baby, you're not going to believe this. Only another $93,973 on our credit card, and we'll have enough miles for a free trip to Borneo.
Oh, yeah? Where's Borneo?
Send your old credit card packing. Introducing Discover Platinum with a new low rate on balance transfers and a cashback bonus award.
Do we know anyone in Borneo?
I'll get a map.
Now more than ever, it pays to discover Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER to apply. Cashback bonus up to 1% paid yearly based on annual level of purchases.
Bob, what's new? Last night I get in my truck, and in the back seat is one of those supermodels. Says she always wanted to meet a man who owned a sauerkraut factory. We're eating sauerkraut. She's wiping juice off my chin. I get heartburn. I pull out my Rolaids, and in under 10 seconds, it starts working. Then she's gone, and so's my heartburn. Rolaids starts working in under 10 seconds? You expect me to believe that?
It's true. Rolaids starts neutralizing acid in under 10 seconds. ROLAIDS spells relief. Use as directed.
William Shatner here. If you'd love to save money on airline tickets and hotel rooms, there's only one name you need to know. Priceline.com.
A great price on a quality name brand hotel. Thanks, Priceline.
I got a 4-star hotel at a 2-star price.
Saving money on hotel rooms, home mortgages, and airline tickets is what Priceline is all about. Try Priceline.com on the internet or call toll-free 1-800-PRICELINE. I knew it. Saving money at Priceline.com is big, really big.
John Lovitz, the man who wrote the Yellow Pages, discusses the writing process.
What I'll do is I'll type in like beds. And then I'll hit the space bar on beekeeping. And then belt. And then I just wait for, you just kind of got to wait sometimes for inspiration to hit.
Get an idea. Open the Yellow Pages.
Later on, we'll tell you about the stars of the game, brought to you by Stars Movie Channel. With new hit movies, you'll see first on Stars.
Torrey James is in the lineup for Darian Gordon, who's seeing stars on the sideline right now.
3rd and 3, Atlanta. Play action, Chandler throws it into the end zone, incomplete. He had Tim Dwight and threw it behind him as he was covered by Tyrone Braxton, the strong safety.
That was a great call by Jack Burns, but the ball took off on Chris Chandler. You heard me say right before he got it, and Tim Dwight had the coverage, and he beat the coverage back to the inside. But there was a little bit of pressure to his left side, and as they're going left to right, he let it fly, and it came off high and sets up this field goal at the 5-10 mark.
Morton Anderson has one field goal in the books. He'll now try another one, this one of 26 yards. Straczynski to put it down. Placement is good, the spot is good, and the field goal is no good. He pulled it to the right. A rare miss for the usually reliable Morton Anderson. He had made 135 of 149 field goals from under 30 yards, normally automatics. 14 misses in 17 years.
That's pathetic.
And that's a bad miss for Atlanta. They trailed 10-3. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
This is Neil Smith of the Denver Broncos with an important message for everyone in our radio audience. The 90 ways working to conquer heart disease and cancer, disabilities and afflictions. Some diseases we can't even pronounce, and some whose symptoms may not be diagnosed at birth or in early years. Children like these may have delayed development until they reach their mid-teens. I know because I have dyslexia. starts here. A special program funded by Our United Way. Hope Center.
They started the play, and John Elway goes up top to Rod Smith for an 80-yard touchdown as he beats Eugene Robinson.
He held the safety. As they're going right to left, Rod Smith lines up wide to the right, and he gets stuck on Eugene Robinson, and it's a mismatch. He can't run with Rod Smith, even on his best day. And because he's able to get to that second step, and it's a foot race, it's 6 for Denver quick. What a major turn of events. A missed field goal and a big play, and this one turns around lickety-split.
Elam for the point after. The Broncos are stunning Atlanta now with that turnabout. The missed field goal, the first of 13 misses by Morton Anderson. He had made 12 in a row. That is a miss by Anderson, and then an 80-yard touchdown to Rod Smith.
Howard, they let him get to the middle of the field. Eugene Robinson was trying to give help to Bradford on the outside, on the left side. He got too high. And once Rod Smith got inside of him, and once he was even, that play was over. Because Eugene Robinson can't run with him. He couldn't run with him 10 years ago. And it's not his fault. It just so happens that he got caught inside, and it's 6 quick.
So the Broncos now have taken a 17-3 lead on the shocking bomb from Elway to Rod Smith.
You know, Eugene Robinson made a critical mistake because you can't give the middle of the field up. And as a safety, as he was rolling to his left, he got too high on top of the receiver. And what that does is it gives the receiver a chance to go either way. And when you open the middle of the field, you just use your speed and run away. In that instance, Rod Smith made a great adjustment, and Elway used his arm strength to beat it.
So Denver has delivered a sharp right to the jaw of the Falcons. Tim Dwight on the return. To the 25, to the 30, down the sidelines, and finally pushed out of bounds. Near midfield at the 49 of Denver. Torrey James pushes him out as Tim Dwight returns the ensuing kickoff for 42 yards.
Just following your wedge. He's going to break one yet, Howard. He is going to break one. He got in his wedge. They did a nice job of picking everybody up. He made one guy miss. That was Lynn. And then he hit the other gear. Good job by Torrey James of holding on. What's so impressive about Tim Dwight is he always catches the ball going forward, and he's at full speed when he's on his first step.
He gets it in the second gear as fast as anybody I've ever seen as a returner. 1st and 10, Atlanta now down 17-3. Chandler to throw. Looking over the middle, incomplete. There was a breakdown somewhere. Tony Martin ran an out, and the ball went down the middle of the field.
He tried to throw the out like you mentioned, and Martin was supposed to break in. There was nobody in the middle of the field. This is a critical series for the Atlanta Falcons. They can't let this thing get away. Down 17-3, almost similar to where they were 2 weeks ago. But they need a score, and they need 6 right here.
Darian Gordon, who was injured earlier, now back in the game in the Denver secondary. Chandler, 4 of 8 for 60 yards passing. 2nd and 10 Falcons. Moving from left to right on your radio. Chandler back to throw. Sets up. Throws it down the right side. Complete to Tony Martin.
Got it.
A well-timed pass to Martin at the Denver 26. A gain of 23 yards.
Nice job by the offensive line. And then again, he's working on Ray Crockett as they're going right to left. Lined up on that right side. Crockett has no help to the middle of the field. They took their safety and rolled him high to the other side. So he has to honor any inside move. Martin makes him bite inside, comes to the out. The ball's perfectly thrown, and it's 1st and 10 from the 26 going in.
And he did a great job, Martin did, of trailing that second leg to keep it in bounds, of dragging it along the turf. 1st and 10 Falcons. Chandler drops back to throw. Rolls out to the right, now takes off. Inside the 20 and dives for the 16. He fumbled it, but he was already down on the ground and close to an Atlanta first down. Tanavasa trying to strip him of the football. But there is an injured player.
That's Robbie Toback.
And that's a key injury because it's your starting center.
And he's holding his right knee, and that's not a good sign.
Well, the normal backup center is Dave Waddell, who's inactive for this game, a former Denver Bronco.
When they have thrown the football, they've moved it. It's no surprise. Denver's either 26th or 23rd, and Atlanta's the other one, whichever one it is, in passing defense.
Well, the only other center that they have right now that is activated for this game is Adam Schreiber, who's the long snapper.
And Adam's played a long time, like 15 years or something like that. I'm looking down field here. I don't see it. It is Adam Schreiber who's going to go in.
Well, if you just tuned in, Denver, or rather Atlanta scored first. And are we seeing deja vu from the championship game? Atlanta scored first, a field goal. And then the Broncos, highlighted by an 80-yard completion from Elway to Rod Smith, have scored 17 straight points. Toback comes out, and Adam Schreiber comes in.
Howard, if I'm Greg Robinson, the first thing I do is attack the middle. Come with an inside blitz and make him make a decision. Indoctrinate him quick and try to make a play on this 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line.
Now, the first thing is a clean snap from center.
Right. Shannon Sharp, incidentally, with that twisted knee, will not return. His Super Bowl's over.
Chandler behind new center Schreiber. Takes the snap. Play action Chandler. He's got a man open in the end zone, but instead goes short to Kozlowski, who drives to the 11-yard line. He had Tony Martin wide open in the back of the end zone.
In the middle of the field. And they went with play action. Kozlowski did a good job of faking, and he's hobbling all over the place. What a great game, tough game he's playing. Remember, he has a stress fracture in his lower leg, and he continues to play.
8 of 5 yards. Denver now lining up defensively as Atlanta has it at the Bronco 11-yard line, and Chandler on 2nd and 5 goes out of his shotgun alongside Jamal Anderson. Schreiber, the center, the direct snap to Chandler, back to pass. Throws it, right corner of the end zone, incomplete.
Great play defensively. Torrey James jumped underneath of Harris and knocked that ball away. Harris had him beat to the corner, and James played it, broke on the underneath side, and knocked it away right at the last second. Lined up wide to the right in the slot. James tried to hold the inside position. He had him a better throw, would have been 6, but Chandler tried to loft it and gave James time to come in and knock that ball away.
Harold Green out of Goose Creek, South Carolina, in and running back alongside of Anderson, flanking Chandler on a shotgun formation. Mathis in motion, Chandler to throw, sends it into the end zone.
Great defense.
Another terrific defensive play, this one by Darian Gordon, the quarterback.
Tried to run a fade on the top side to Martin. Martin's working on a man-to-man. Darian Gordon did a great job of not going for anything, staying with him, turning and looking at the right time, and knocking that ball away. The ball was thrown nicely. A higher ball, that's a second-errant ball, a higher thrown ball could have been 6.
Chandler 6 of 12 for 88 yards. And now Morton Anderson, who missed a 26-yarder, will try a 28-yarder. With Straczynski to hold. Late second quarter, the placement is down. This kick is good by Morton Anderson, and it cuts Denver's lead to 17-6.
Atlanta's been playing good offense until they get to the red zone, then they've just petered out.
With 2:25 left until halftime, you're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
This is Neil Smith of the Denver Broncos with an important message for everyone in our radio audience. The United Way is working to conquer heart disease and cancer, disabilities and afflictions. Some diseases we can't even pronounce, and some whose symptoms may not be diagnosed at birth or in early years. Children like these may have delayed development until they reach their mid-teens. I know because I have dyslexia. Hope starts here. A special program funded by our United Way. Hope Center provides prevention and therapy and hope. Here to deal with forms of disabilities in the early stages. United Way brings all our community resources together to focus on our critical problems. They work to help children and build safe and healthy communities where people care for one another. The NFL, the United Way, and you, the power of teamwork.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
Morton Anderson out to kick it off to Vaughn Hebron. It'll be a returnable kick, a very short kick. Hebron fields it at the 12-yard line, across the 20. Stopped at the 25 and put down at the 28-yard line. Well, Robbie Tobeck shaken up for the Atlanta Falcons, their starting center. Let's get a report from John Dockery. John?
Yes, Howie, from the Falcons sidelines, Robbie Tobeck is going in on the cart. His right knee is damaged. He was hobbling around the sideline, so they put him on the cart and they take him in as we speak. We'll keep you posted on any further news we get.
All right, Doc, thank you. Shannon Sharp, as Matt mentioned, and John, too, out for the rest of the game with a knee injury, and that's a big blow to Denver's offense, although they still lead 17-6. McCaffrey, who's been quiet so far, goes in motion to the right. The draw play to Terrell Davis with a hole across the 35 and brought down across the 40-yard line. A gaping hole on the right side, and Eugene Robinson makes the tackle for Denver, or for Atlanta, but not before a first down for Davis.
He's just starting to get warmed up. He's right at the 60-yard mark. Another good job at the right side of that offensive line of Harry Swain, Mark Schlereth, and then Howard Griffith is wearing out Jesse Tuggle. That's a match that Jesse Tuggle had to win, but he's not been winning it, and Terrell Davis has himself 60 yards.
2-minute warning. It's 17-6 Denver. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Question. What happens when a company that spends every moment of every day thinking about SUVs starts with a clean sheet of paper? Find out this spring when Isuzu introduces their revolutionary 215-horsepower Rally Sport-inspired 4WD Isuzu V-Cross. As the people at Open Road magazine declare, the V-Cross is quite simply the love child of a sport utility vehicle and a sports car. We hope you're ready for this new Isuzu V-Cross. You won't want to miss this one. Isuzu. Go farther.
Hi, sports fans. This is Scoop Jones for Rent-A-Wreck here at the big game. Sitting next to me in the face paint and holding a big drum is George. George rented a van from Rent-A-Wreck to bring all his buddies to the game, and it costs less than his game ticket.
That's right. You think I'm crazy? You should see my buddies. Let's go, guys!
Rent-A-Wreck. Go crazy and call him today. Toll free at 87 Rent-A-Wreck. That's 87 Rent-A-Wreck. And tell him Scoop sent you.
Rent-A-Wreck. If you suffer from excessive perspiration, listen to the student's letter mailed to Certain-Dry Antiperspirant.
I'm a pastor in training. When I preach in church, I get very nervous. I usually end up with sweat rings from my underarms that reach down to my waist. Then I discovered Certain-Dry. I'm ecstatic to tell you that I've stopped sweating under my arms 99%. What a wonderful feeling. Brent Bodenhammer, Arlington Heights, Illinois.
If you suffer from excessive perspiration, get Certain-Dry Antiperspirant.
To tell you about all the benefits of the new global alliance between Northwest Airlines and Continental Airlines in 30 seconds, I'd have to talk extremely fast, but then you might miss some of the really important advantages like shared frequent flyer benefits or shared airport clubs. But if I talk slowly, just as I was telling you about one-stop check-in worldwide, I'd run out of time and you'd never hear about nearly 500 combined destinations on 6 continents, including South America. If you travel at all, the new Northwest Airlines Continental Global Alliance is going to make your life easy.
So with 2 minutes left, first half, 17-6 Broncos. They've got the ball. First and 10 at their own 43. Terrell Davis running right and dropped after a gain of a yard or so. Nice pursuit and good defense by Atlanta's Cornelius Bennett.
Howard, again, they continue to go back to that empty set, that empty look, and then they'll motion Terrell Davis to the one-back set and spread him out and try to cut back inside. The biggest difference in this game so far, obviously the 80-yard bomb to Rod Smith, but the Falcons have moved the ball effectively. They've just kicked field goals. They've kicked 2 and missed 1 instead of getting in the end zone for 6.
Terrell Davis out wide to the left side, 2nd and 8, Elway out of his shotgun. Looking left, now looking middle. Throws it over the middle, and the pass is in. It's complete over the middle. Chamberlain, the tight end, inside the Atlanta 45-yard line, and Denver spins their second timeout.
Chamberlain just worked the middle of the field. They just take off the 84 and the sharp, put on the 86 in Chamberlain, and they're not missing a beat. Lining up wide to the right in that trips formation. They're going to take care of Ed McCaffrey by knocking the snot out of him. And Chamberlain comes to the backside. They throw it to the middle of the field in front of William White. It's another first down.
I hate when that happens.
Oh, believe me, it's brutal.
A reminder to stay tuned for the Campbell's Chunky Soup halftime report with Tommy Tighe. Tommy's guest will be NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue and Gloria Estefan. Brought to you by Campbell's Chunky Soup, the soup that eats like a meal. If you just tuned in, Denver's ahead 17-6. They have lost Shannon Sharp for the game. Atlanta might have lost their starting center, Robbie Tobeck. John Elway has completed an 80-yard touchdown pass to Rod Smith, the second longest in Super Bowl history, second only to Antonio Freeman from Brett Favre 2 years ago.
Here they go, that empty backfield set again.
Terrell Davis now fills the empty backfield. They work the handoff in the end around to Rod Smith. He's in a little bit of trouble inside the 45 and goes out of bounds. Excellent defense by Ronnie Bradford.
Howard, the guy who made the great plays, Chuck Smith. Chuck Smith stayed at home, the defensive end, and because of his discipline, Ronnie Bradford can hold that thing to about a half a yard gain. And Chuck Smith playing right defensive end, they tried to reverse it on him, and he held his discipline and maintained the width and forced him wide.
The star of the game thus far, Rod Smith for the Denver Broncos, has caught 3 balls for 139 yards and that one 80-yard strike from Elway. 2nd and 9, Denver. Elway back to pass with time. Throws it out to the right. Complete to Rod Smith. A short gain inside the 40, and then he tripped and was finally pinned to the ground by Ronnie Bradford. The clock now, with 56 seconds left, stopped on the Denver timeout, their 3rd and final.
Howard, we've been talking about Rod Smith, who's wearing out Ronnie Bradford. They're going to have to start giving Bradford help because the guy who's not caught a ball has been Ed McCaffrey. And the reason? Ray Buchanan's been taking him completely out of the game. We haven't mentioned Ray Buchanan's name at all except for maybe falling off and making a tackle. And so now, with just under a minute to play, Rod Smith has had himself about 145 yards of offense. Now the adjustment will be to take care of him in the second half.
Ray Buchanan, who has been with this Falcon organization for several years, remembers the days when things were not as wonderful as they are now in Atlanta. He said, we were so bad, people used to come in and get hot dogs to go.
At our home game.
That's right.
And he also, he's been here now, I think, for 3 years. I'm not 2 or 3. He was in Indianapolis. And so this is the first real winning, although he shouldn't say that. He went all the way to the championship game against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's true. That magical year for Indianapolis under Ted Marchibroda. Quan Hebron goes out wide to the right, and Elway out of a shotgun. 3 receivers to the left. On 3rd down, Elway back, airs it out. Flag goes down, and the catch is incomplete. It was right through the hands of Howard Griffith, but I believe there's a flag.
It's a hold.
A hold against Denver.
Dan Neal, the right guard on Lester Archambault. Howard Griffith ran through his zone against Henri Crockett. He beat him. The ball was thrown. He couldn't quite get up to it. I would refuse this penalty, although This is going to be interesting. Remember, Elam's kicked a 63-yarder.
Well, the line of scrimmage is the 37. It would be about a 54-yard try.
Holding, 62 up, and it's a 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Oh, they took it. They're going to set him back, and they're afraid. Ooh, this is a really gutsy call. Really gutsy call.
Well, you're giving Elway another chance.
They came with a nice stunt to the inside. Lester Archambault was able to beat Dan Neal to the top side. Atlanta called a timeout.
Atlanta has to call a timeout. They did not get their personnel off the field in time with a timeout, and 49 seconds left till halftime. 17-6 Denver. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Insulting a person whose neck is bigger than your head. Taking a 2-year-old to the movies. Discussing anything with your father-in-law.
We all do dumb things now and then. Fortunately, paying too much for car insurance doesn't have to be one of them, because a 15-minute call to Geico Direct could save you 15% or more.
Starting a bee circus.
So call Geico anytime. 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO. Geico Direct, the sensible alternative.
Our David Matt Millen at Pro Players Stadium in Miami, where the Broncos lead the Falcons 17-6. The Falcons, their goal was to try to get out in front. They did briefly with a 3-0 lead. Denver's goal was to try to take the Falcons away with a quick start and put doubt in their mind. Right now, Denver's got a 17-6 lead on this, a 3rd and 14 play for the Broncos, moving from right to left on your radio.
Falcons are going the 3-down line, and they're going to drop 8 people in coverage. They're going to dare Elway with time.
The pitch to Terrell Davis running right.
Nice
he is dropped. Terrific play by Travis Hall and also Shane Troutette as they knock down Terrell Davis, and Atlanta spends a timeout, their second.
Howard, you know what's lost in that play? The nice play by Michael Booker, the corner, who did not allow Terrell Davis to stretch the play wide. He came up and made him come back inside where Travis Hall pursued and got some help from Joe Nett and Chuck Smith. That was a big, big play.
Remember the championship game. Atlanta's down 20-7. They score late in the second quarter and go to halftime only down 6. Right now they would probably take a field goal if they can get in position, but only 40 seconds to do it.
This has been a great first half. You mentioned that Denver wanted to accomplish scoring quick and getting their heads out of the game. That didn't happen. If anything, Atlanta's offense is encouraged because they've moved the ball effectively until they've gotten inside the red zone.
Well, we'll see what Tom Rowan does. Remember, he had a problem handling a snap in the AFC Championship game against the Jets back in his own end zone. Wound up leading to the Jets' only touchdown, a high snap, and he gets this kick away and sends it back. Tim Dwight, fair catch at the 10-yard line, and a good job by Tom Rowan, who hasn't forced a fair catch in his last 70 punts until that moment. That was a 35-yard kick.
Denver can improve one area for sure. I mean, the real certain area is in their kicking game because they've not punted the ball at all. Rowan's been a ruin a lot of this second half of the season.
Little racket ruin.
Now let's see if Chandler.
How do you gamble here if you're Atlanta?
Well, I remember a game a few years ago in Tampa where somebody tried to gamble and threw Jack Squirek an interception.
Here, I wonder when that was.
Rocket screen. I forgot completely all about it.
Shotgun for Chandler from his own 10-yard line. The snap to Chandler. Rushes on. Throws it out to the right, incomplete. Tremendous pressure coming up the middle from Alfred Williams, who was one of them. And Trevor Price could have been the other.
Trevor Price did a great job of spinning to the inside, working on Gene Williams. He gave him a spin move, almost forced Chandler to take his safety. Chandler had the presence to be able to stay in and throw that ball out of there. He was lucky he didn't get it picked by the corner.
Second down and 10 with 29 seconds left in the half. Atlanta with the ball at their own 10-yard line. Chandler out of his shotgun. 4-man front. Chandler works the inside handoff to Jamal Anderson and just scrambles his way. And then Steve Atwater meets him at the 14-yard line. And Atlanta will probably just let the clock run out. The clock now ticking away, and I think they're going to go to the locker room. The second half sponsored by Heat, America's #1 gas line antifreeze. Morton Anderson on the kickoff. And Vaughn Hebron at the 1-yard line. To the 10, running up the middle of the 15 of the 20-yard line. And he is brought down as he crosses the 25 by Gary Downs. And that is where Denver will put it in play. 1st and 10, moving from right to left on your radio to start the third quarter.
Howard, the other guy who quietly had a very, very efficient first half is Howard Griffith. And he was able to take care of Jesse Tuggle on some real simple isolation plays. And that allowed Terrell Davis to pick up his 60-some yards in that first half.
Twice before this season, or in this season, playoffs included, Atlanta has come from down double digits. Elway rolling right off play action. A lot of time. Throws it out to the right. And Ed McCaffrey makes his first catch. And then Eugene Robinson drills him. And the reason why he drills him is because Reed Buchanan stood there. McCaffrey could have gotten up and run for more. And Robinson just drilled McCaffrey.
And he's exactly right. He did the right thing. Ray Buchanan should have touched him at the 17-yard gain. Again, it's that waggle. We talked about it earlier. McCaffrey's first catch of the game, lined up wide to the right. He just stops and comes down. Buchanan arguing that he was held, but he should touch the guy first.
Absolutely. This is not the World Series, and I'll expand on that in a second. At the 44, Elway to throw. Over the middle of Terrell Davis. Inside Atlanta territory and close to another Denver first down. Apparently it is enough for a first down.
Jesse Tuggle missed the tackle inside, and he had it perfectly. Again, play action. He looked outside. There was no place to throw. He tried to throw up top to McCaffrey, but he pulled off that, threw it underneath. As they're going right to left, to Terrell Davis, missed the tackle by Jesse Tuggle, and he picked up another first down.
First catch by a Denver running back this game. 1st and 10, Broncos at the 45 of Atlanta. Elway on the draw. Terrell Davis straight ahead for a couple of yards. You recall in the World Series, Chuck Knobloch argued that one play at first base, and meanwhile there were players running around the diamond and scoring it 2 at a time. basically, it reminded me of that, the way Buchanan just watched McCaffrey and didn't touch him.
Well, we talked about, Howard, this second half, how it has to be a fast start for the Atlanta Falcons. This is crucial right here because they're already giving up field goal position if they get another first down.
2nd and 8. Elway to throw. Out to the left, complete to Howard Griffith. Inside the 40. And about a yard shy of a first down at the Atlanta 36. Ronnie Bradford touches him there.
And it's going to set up a third and about a yard and a half, which is a big, big third down for both sides. And I say that because I believe if the Falcons can stop them here, get some points, they turn it into a game. But if they give up any points at this point, and they've not really scored touchdowns, it could get away from them.
Elway, 12 of 18, has hit his last 6 in a row. He's got 2 tight ends, Carswell and Chamberlain. Sharp is out for the rest of the game with an injured knee. High formation inside. Howard Griffith breaks through for a first down inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line, where he is brought down by William White, the strong safety.
But not before he picks up a nice block by Mark Schlereth, the left offensive guard, along with Tony Jones and Nailing right there. Just a quick dive. Schlereth, who's playing in his 3rd Super Bowl after, 21 or 22 operations?
Right, and he still has the bone chips that he collects in a jar.
I played with him, and he's a sick man.
Yes, to be a lineman, you got to be a little sick, or a linebacker. 1st and 10, the handoff, Terrell Davis. And brought down at about the 31-yard line after a gain of a yard and a half, perhaps 2, for Terrell Davis. Detron Smith was brought in at fullback and gave Terrell Davis a little help to try to get a little bit of room.
Detron is going to check out, and Howard Griffith will check back in. Shanahan has kept this Atlanta our defense off balance all day long. He's just a terrific play caller. Of course, when you have the guys who he has to execute them, it makes it a little easier.
Makes you a brilliant coach. 2nd and 8, Denver. McCaffrey in motion. Elway looking for McCaffrey. Throws, it is deflected and almost picked off. Travis Hall had a shot at it. Although a long shot at Cornelius Bennett had a shot at it.
He had the better chance, but a nice job of getting the hands up. They were going to try to throw underneath to McCaffrey, who started in motion. They're going right to left. He started left, came to the right side. Elway saw him, tried to throw it over on that right side, but Travis Hall knocked that ball away. And then, like you mentioned, Cornelius Bennett had a chance to pick it. It sets up this third down and about 8.
From the Atlanta 31. Howard Griffith out wide to the right side. Elway out of his shotgun. Elway takes the snap, backpedals, sets up, throws up in the middle, and a diving catch is made by Ed McCaffrey inside the 20 of the Atlanta Falcons and a first down. Well, you talk about a well-thrown ball. That was that. A gain of 14.
And the only place he could, down low. Ed McCaffrey lined up wide to the right, and he got Ray Buchanan to jump to the outside. Before Buchanan could recover, McCaffrey came to the inside and got down low, and Elway just threw a bullet. Boy, Elway's throwing the ball well, isn't he?
9th play of the drive, and Elway is sharp. Terrell Davis running left to the outside. Cuts back at the 15, and a flag is down. And so is Terrell Davis inside the 15-yard line. You know, Dan Reeves cut Ed McCaffrey when McCaffrey was with the New York Giants. And Reeves, as recently as a month ago, said that is the one of the main regrets I've ever had in my career.
89 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
It's on Dwayne Carswell, the tight end.
Ed McCaffrey is one of those players that, hey, if you forget about him, he'll kill you. And if you concentrate on him, you have to play well still to beat him. Carswell held on to Henri Crockett, which allowed Terrell Davis to get to the outside.
3 penalties, 2 holding penalties on the offense of Denver, but the Broncos lead 17-6 with 10:20 to go, third quarter. Howard David, Matt Millen here in Miami for Super Bowl 33. Elway rolls right. Elway to run.
Nice
and
job.
Cornelius Bennett drops him inside the 30-yard line.
Beautiful job. Again, a tremendous example of discipline of scheme. Cornelius Bennett played left outside linebacker. As they're going right to left, Elway faked to the left, rolled to his right, was going to try to use his speed, but Cornelius Bennett's an old dog. He'd been there before. He wasn't about to bite inside, stayed outside, and used his speed and set up this 2nd and 21.
He successfully ran that same play in the AFC title game against the Jets for 15 yards and a critical first down. That time, it did not work. McCaffrey in motion. The draw to Davis. No place. Dropped right at the point of attack by the strong safety, William White.
Read that beautiful. William White was reading the offensive tackle, Harry Swain. As soon as Swain blocked down, William White came up. Did just an excellent job of filling.
Let's quickly go to the sidelines and John Dockery. John?
All right, I just had a question from Matt. You know, with Rod Smith tearing him up, why not put their best defensive back, Ray Buchanan, on Smith, try to shut him down? McCaffrey's caught a few balls, but certainly he's not as dangerous deep as Smith is.
Yeah, you're right. We'll get that in a second. I'll answer that.
3rd and 20, Elway out of a shotgun. Throws it out to the right, and it's caught by Rod Smith, but short of the first down as he's dropped to the 20, but close enough for a short field goal attempt coming up for Jason Elam.
Howard, I'll answer Doc's question. The reason that is because you have your game plan in, and the whole thing is predicated on Ray Buchanan taking one receiver. And what that does is it allows you to roll your coverage and play other coverages on the other 3. So you shut down one to take care of the others. If you start switching, then your game plan goes out the window. Good question, Doc.
Jason Elam was a perfect 8 of 8 in the postseason, a 38-yarder. He drives it on the wing, he pushes it to the right. Once again, the Malaiki.
He threw it on him.
The Malaiki does work, doesn't it?
Howard, if the players ever find out that they're going to kick your rear end all over the place.
It could be a bargaining chip here. 17-6 Denver, 3rd quarter. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
The following commercial is intended for those who have found themselves traveling down the wrong path. And although I hate to preach, I feel that I must. Brothers and sisters, it has come to my attention there are those among us who still subscribe to cable. I say, there are those among us who still subscribe to cable. And I say to you, how can this be so? When Dish Network Satellite TV gives you 21 premium movie channels, compared to only a handful on cable. And now, friends, you get a Dish Network satellite system free. Yes, free. Say with me now, cable demons, be gone. Let the cable demons be gone. And kindly call Dish Network at 1-888-499-DISH. Call 1-888-499-DISH. Dish Network. More TV, less money. Let the healing begin.
Available at Sears and other fine retailers. Free system after mail-in rebate. Promotion requires 1 year of programming services agreement. Cancellation penalty supply. Offer expires March 31st. All prices and packages subject to change without notice. Additional restriction, sales tax, and $99 installation may apply. Void where prohibited.
Well, once upon a time, a guy went wild at a Super Bowl and led the Giants to victory. Steve Goldstein standing by with Phil Simms.
All right, Howard and Phil, Denver, the Super Bowl Sunday. You still have the greatest Super Bowl performance by any quarterback of all time.
Well, I sat up here at the beginning of the game, and I rooted against both quarterbacks. The ball hit the ground a few times, so I'm happy. At least I have one thing in the game. I have a record that still stands in the Super Bowl, but it's been a good game, and it's a pleasure to watch it.
At 17-6, Atlanta still in this thing.
Oh, you know, I told everybody at halftime I think Atlanta's going to make a run at them. It's going to be a close game. They're just the type of team that you cannot blow out the way they play, their style, and I think it's going to be an exciting finish.
Howard, the interesting thing is Phil Simms is talking about that is as his son has a National Letter of Intent Day coming up on Wednesday, and he's made a commitment to the University of Texas. And I understand there's a lot of other high school receivers who are waiting to see where he goes because they'd like to catch his passes.
Well, originally he wanted to go to Tennessee and then changed his mind. Adam Schreiber still in at center for Atlanta, replacing the injured Robbie Toback. Chandler, play action. Nice. Setting up, throws it out to the right on time to Tony Martin. Across the 45-yard line. You know the amazing thing about that? Bill Romanowski went 15 yards upfield to help defend that play.
Yeah, because he read it perfectly. They've been throwing that with regularity in the first half, and what it is they're going to go play action right at Romanowski. Romanowski sees it perfectly, knows that the out ball is coming on Crockett because they'll take Tony Martin and go short motion inside to draw him down. Romanowski saw it, being the veteran savviness that he has. Can you use savviness?
Savviness
Undercut
is good.
that thing.
Yep. Savviness is good.
Word.
I think it's a multiplicity of words.
Not only that, there's more than one.
1st and 10, Atlanta at the 47 of the Falcons. Chandler back to pass, has time. Steps up and runs. Kozlowski tried to block Cadrez, and Cadrez makes the tackle, but not before Chris Chandler gets a first down. That's a great play by Glenn Cadrez. That play could have gone for 10 more.
Could have been a bigger play had Kozlowski been able to whip his head around and find him. He couldn't quite find him, just kind of got a nudge on him. If he'd have got more than a nudge, he'd have been able to keep on running.
Nudging is acceptable, but you have to pick your spots.
Yeah.
It is enough for a first down, and Atlanta's got it at Denver's 41-yard line. Chandler has 24 yards rushing in the game. He'd rather throw it. Out of the eye, and the Broncos showing blitz up the middle. Now from the outside as well. Chandler back. In trouble, and down he goes. Back at the 48-yard line. The second sack by Denver. Cadrez came. Mobley came. And anybody who was wearing a white jersey came after Chandler.
You know who has great coverage on that? It's Bill Romanowski, who's working on O.J. Santiago. They're going to come off that left side. It's just a matter of numbers. You have 3 people in, and they block you. They bring 4. Atwater came, Mobley came, Cadrez came. There's just one extra guy. They can't get there. Chandler's got to read that hot, as does the receiver, to get rid of it.
2nd and 16, and Chandler out of a shotgun. Now they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Harold Green is in the game also for Atlanta. Chandler rolling left, steps up, throws it over the middle. Pass is intercepted. It is picked off by Denver on the return. Darius Johnson inside the 45 of Atlanta. 28 yards on the return, and Atlanta's drive stalls. The first turnover by the Falcons.
Chris Chandler felt pressure off the corner from Tyrone Braxton, and he stepped up, tried to hit it to the middle of the field, I believe to Mathis. Darius Johnson was on him, undercut it, picked it, going the other way.
17-6 Denver. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
Starting Monday, you'll never see the world the same way again because you're going on the inside. And nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Get behind the scenes. Get access. You're going on the inside. The premiere series. Every weeknight at 7 Central, 9 Mountain on the Discovery Channel. How do they put the cream in a Twinkie? Get the scoop on snacks you love both then and now on the inside of our favorite fun foods. Monday at 7 Central, 9 Mountain on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
30 seconds.
Okay, I'm a little pressed for time, but I want to tell you about Expression Center for New Media.
25 seconds.
It's a school that teaches digital, visual media, and sound arts.
20 seconds.
Computer graphics, special effects for the movies, recording and editing music.
5 seconds.
What?
Just messing with you.
Call toll-free, 1-877-833-8800.
10 seconds.
1-877-833-8800. There's a website, too.
Now it's 5 seconds.
xnewmedia.com. xnewmedia.com. Did you get that? Expression is a
Relax,
school.
you got plenty of time.
Each morning, she heads for the desert's poorest communities with food, clothing, and badly needed appliances. Despite her own battles with cancer and palsy, 71-year-old Florence Denome, the angel of the desert, has dedicated her life to fighting poverty and to showing us the wealth to be gained through giving. State Farm salutes life heroes because State Farm understands life.
All sports, all the time. Sports Radio 1300, The Zone.
Stay tuned for the end of the game. We'll tell you about the Discover Card payback play of the game, sponsored by Discover Card, the card that pays you back. Almost 75,000 in attendance. Probably another 75,000 out the gate.
Maybe about 75,000 watching at home. What do you think?
Maybe 76. Best starting position for the Broncos, obviously, after the pick by Darius Johnson. Sets it up for Denver at the 42 of the Falcons. 2 tight ends for the Broncos. The handoff, Terrell Davis. He slips out of the tackle. Across the 35 to the 31-yard line. Eugene Robinson has to make the tackle because Jesse Tuggle missed the tackle on Terrell Davis, who's now running off the field and headed for the Denver sideline.
I think he's just tired. Jesse Tuggle read it perfectly. He saw it, made the adjustment, ran right up inside, and came away with nada.
80 yards rushing in the game for Terrell Davis. A gain of 10 on the play and a first down.
Jesse Tuggle's had a rough day.
Griffith and Lavelle, the running backs. Lavelle, the deep back. McCaffrey in motion to the right. Elway to Lavelle on the handoff inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Well, Atlanta led the National Football League in average time of possession. It is Denver that is controlling the clock with 5 minutes left, third quarter, and they lead 17-6.
Well, they've done it with great balance. They're 22 runs to 20 passes. And Shanahan, like we talked about earlier, he'll keep you off balance. He's not afraid to use the waggles and Elway's feet, and he spreads you out defensively with all the different wide receiver and backfield sets. He's done it all game long.
Smith to the left, McCaffrey to the right. Second down and 8. Elway, quick drop, looks left, throws, incomplete. Rod Smith defended by Eugene Robinson, and the ball thrown slightly behind Rod Smith, who's already had a monster game.
Watching how they're playing, Matt. Again, they're taking Ray Buchanan, and they're staying up top. Looks like Terrell Davis just cramping up a little bit on the sidelines, and then they kept Ray Buchanan matched up to McCaffrey, and on the inside, they're taking their safety, Eugene Robinson, and they're jumping the inside route, at least on that coverage. The key to this Denver offense is to mix up your coverages.
Elway passing on third down. He's 4 of 6. Lavelle the deep back. McCaffrey in motion, and Elway back to pass. Steps up. Eludes the sack. Looking to throw it on the run, and he dumps it to McCaffrey for a couple of yards, and that's it. At the 30-yard line, as the defense of Atlanta shut down Elway on that play, setting up 4th down, and Jason Elam checks in the field goal kicker.
They shut down Elway because the coverage down the field was excellent. And because he couldn't find anybody deep, he had to take off, break the pocket, and then was able to find McCaffrey out in the flat. But Elway has 148 pass attempts, which is a Super Bowl record.
A 48-yard attempt for Jason Elam on the way, and it is no
Missed
good.
it again, unbelievable.
3 missed field goals in this game, 2 by Elam, 1 by Morton Anderson from normally reliable kickers.
And you didn't even jinx him that time.
I didn't say a word.
You gotta be feeling pretty good about yourself.
17-6 Denver. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Stop in to your participating Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer for everyday low prices on the services you need most. Right now, get brake service for just $95 or less. That includes installing genuine Ford front or rear brake linings on most cars and light trucks. Quality care service. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices.
Taxes extra. Excludes machining, rotors, and drums. See dealer for the price and details through March 28, 1999.
At your service, quality care. I hope I see you there.
Saturday, CBS Sports jumps off at the World Center of Speed, where NASCAR's hottest wheels jockey for position at the Daytona 500 pole qualifying. Then, it's on to the PGA Tour on CBS and the AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. This is the place that's breathtaking 1 minute and heartbreaking the next. Last time, Phil Mickelson came on to snatch the title after a 6-month delay. It's all Saturday beginning at 12:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports.
Bob, what's new? Last night I get in my truck, and in the back seat is one of those supermodels. Says she always wanted to meet a man who owned a sauerkraut factory. We're eating sauerkraut. She's wiping juice off my chin. I get heartburn. I pull out my Rolaids, and in under 10 seconds, it starts working. Then she's gone, and so's my heartburn. Rolaids starts working in under 10 seconds? You expect me to believe that?
It's true. Rolaids starts neutralizing acid in under 10 seconds. ROLAIDS spells relief. Use as directed.
Casio kicks off a new way to win in business, the Cassiopeia E11. This palm-sized powerhouse reads your writing, organizes your contacts, maintains your schedule, syncs with your Windows PC, and records your voice without a fumble. The stats are super. 8 megs RAM plus a huge Casio software bonus bundle, all for under 300 bills. Get your Cassiopeia E11 now at Best Buy, Circuit City, CompUSA, Office Depot, Office Max, or Staples. So even if your team doesn't pulverize the competition, you will.
I'd like to thank you for joining us for today's broadcast of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports and around the world on Armed Forces Radio. Howard David with Matt Millen, following the missed field goal by Jason Elam. Atlanta's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line, and Jamal Anderson gets the pitch running left. Across the 40-yard line, across the 50-yard line, and out of bounds there. Strong run by Jamal Anderson, bumped out by Ray Crockett, but after a 13-yard pickup.
Nice job by Calvin Collins. Left offensive guard is able to get out there, and a good job by Martin, who gets a good block. Able to get the quick pitch and get to the outside of Alfred Williams. And, you know, the great backs always finish their runs. Jamal Anderson finished his by running over Ray Crockett.
He's got 64 yards rushing on 15 carries. 1st and 10 Atlanta at the Denver 49. Sandler, play action, looking right, throwing, a timing pattern complete. But Terrence Mathis at about the 36 of Denver in front of Ray Crockett and 13 more yards for the Atlanta Falcons.
These Falcons continue to move the football, and the red zone has been their nemesis. And you got to credit the Denver Bronco defense for tightening up down there. But they've been moving the ball between the 20s by running, like you mentioned, 60-some yards. Jamal Anderson, and then the play action off of that, particularly on the out balls in front of Ray Crockett.
High formation with two receivers to the right. Now an offset eye. Mathis in motion to the left side. Chandler the draw to Jamal Anderson. Spins off a tackle inside the 30, inside the 25, and tries to the Denver 21-yard line. Cadrez finally stops him, but what a piece of running by Jamal Anderson for 15 yards.
He has brought his A game. Got himself 80 yards rushing, and this is the time when he's got to have it. Steve Atwater closed to make that play. He dropped his shoulders, spun to the outside, picked up the 15 and a first down.
That one run is more yardage than the New York Jets got in the game against Denver in the AFC Championship game. First and 10 Atlanta at the 21 of Denver. The blitz being shown by the Broncos. Chandler to throw. Has time and is tipped and intercepted.
Unbelievable.
On the return. This could go. Down the sidelines and finally popped is Darian Gordon at about the 25-yard line, a 58-yard return.
What a great play by Chris Chandler to save the touchdown. Chandler tried to throw to his left. The ball was deflected, went up in the air. Darian Gordon came down with it. The guy who deflected the ball was Keith Traylor, 94, who came on a stunt to the inside. That ball went right up in the air. Darian Gordon was beat, but he jumped back underneath and made the play. And in the other end, Chandler made a really, really good defensive play.
He made a saving tackle, but a bad job by O.J. Santiago, the tight end, not coming back to the ball quick enough and stopping that interception by Darian Gordon. First and 10 Denver in a dramatic turnabout. Elway hands to Terrell Davis running inside to about the 20-yard line. Well, Atlanta has, and we've talked about it ad infinitum, that all during this game they have pushed the ball down the field and have run the ball effectively. They've passed the ball effectively, and a deflection, an interception, a fumble, these things, not a fumble yet, but a couple of bad plays and bad breaks, too, for Atlanta. Turnovers, both of them by Chandler in Denver territory. Gain of 4 yards on the play. McCaffrey in motion to the left. Elway to throw. Looking down the middle. Throws down the middle, and it is caught.
Nope.
And then juggled and dropped. They had it for a second. McCaffrey had it and could not hold on.
Yeah, that was going to be an unbelievable catch because Elway threw one of those Elway balls that only a few guys can throw. Favre throws it, Marino throws it, Elway throws it. It had tons of mustard on it. Ray Buchanan battled with it. The ball got in on his shoulder pad, and Buchanan tried to slap it away, but should have been caught.
So it sets up a 3rd and 6 at the Atlanta 20-yard line. Shotgun for Elway. 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. He takes the snap, looks to the left, throws over the middle, complete McCaffrey inside the 10 of the 5-yard line. And a first down for the Denver Broncos. He is brought down by Jesse Tuggle.
Howard, that's extremely poorly played. They came out and they had Ray Buchanan. Broncos are going right to left. All right. They took Ray Buchanan, they stuck him to the outside. Henry Crockett is lined up on Ed McCaffrey in the slot. He lets him run clean, does not touch him. That is impossible to me. You can't do that. And Jesse Tuggle backed off. You got to look for the inside receiver. Well done by Denver, poorly done by Atlanta.
First and goal, Broncos at the 5-yard line with the extra tight end. They give it inside to Howard Griffith to the 1-yard line. And that's where he is stopped. Craig Sauer in on the play, along with John.
3rd down. Got 4 catches, 3 of them on 3rd down.
And all in the second half. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with a score. Denver 17, Atlanta 6. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
We return now to Senator Harding.
To the past. We look toward tomorrow with all eyes.
Every day thinking about SUV starts with a clean sheet of paper. Find out this spring when Isuzu introduces their revolutionary 215 horsepower rally sports. You won't want to miss this one. Isuzu. Go farther.
All car insurance seems pretty much alike until something goes wrong. Then you find out if you're getting your money's worth. With State Farm, you have your very own agent, not just a phone number. An agent who helps the world's largest claim service network get you back on the road fast. And that's what you're paying for with State Farm. Someone you know, someone you can talk to. That's what sets State Farm apart.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
If you suffer from excessive perspiration, listen to the student's letter mailed to Certain Dry Antiperspirant.
I'm a pastor in training. When I preach in church, I get very nervous. I usually end up with sweat rings from my underarms that reach down to my waist. Then I discovered Certain Dry. I'm ecstatic to tell you that I've stopped sweating under my arms 99%. What a wonderful feeling. Brent Bodenhammer, Arlington Heights, Illinois.
If you suffer from excessive perspiration, get Certain Dry Antiperspirant.
This half, Denver has had 19 plays, 17 in Atlanta territory. Atlanta needs a goal line stand, and the Broncos want to put the Falcons away. 2nd and goal at the 1. Inside, Griffith didn't get there. Yes, they signal touchdown.
He must be a night crawler.
He must be, because it looked like he was stopped short of the goal line. His 2nd touchdown. Howard Griffith, I thought he was down, so did you, and then the head linesman signaled touchdown Denver.
Running to the left side, and the reason's simple. The left side of that offensive line is their stronger side. Tony Jones, Mark Schlereth, Howard Griffith just takes it and makes like that earth mover and just powers his way into the hole. That one, Howard, could be the start of the nailing on the coffin.
Get those long nails, boys.
Yeah, and Cornelius Bennett's not getting up anytime soon. It looks like
he's cramped up too.
And he had the wind knocked out of him. Just power football. The offensive line of the Denver Broncos is not a real physical group per se. They got hit at the watching this thing, and Howard Griffith, the reason he got in, I'm watching the replay, is just a nice second effort. He took on Sauer and just kept on powering himself into the end zone.
And he got that last 6 feet without his knees hitting the ground. That's close.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any difference. They've signaled touchdown. And now Elam will try the point after. Every time, not every time, but a couple of key times this game when Atlanta has gone down the field and have made mistakes. The missed field goal by Anderson that led to an 80-yard touchdown strike on the next play from Elway. And then the interception off the tip ball by Darian Gordon. That leads to a quick 6 for the Broncos.
That one right there, that could be the play of the game. It just killed him.
Well, Cornelius Bennett barely got the wind knocked out of him, and right now is no longer a baritone.
I believe he may be right.
No singing in the church choir this weekend for Cornelius.
Unless they need a soprano.
Now the point after for Jason Elam is perfect. Broncos trying to become the 7th team to win back-to-back Super Bowls, and they got the lead 24-6 early 4th quarter. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
By golly. You're short of breath. There's pain in your chest. You may be having a heart attack. Now, what do? Call an ambulance? Good. And take Bayer aspirin as directed by your doctor. It's now been proven that aspirin, when taken immediately during a heart attack, may actually help stop you from dying. Talk to your doctor now. Do you know where your Bayer is? Bayer. Powerful pain relief and so much more.
CBS Radio Sports presents Super Bowl 33, starring the Atlanta Falcons and the Denver Broncos for the ultimate prize in professional sports. The Falcons hope a dream season is capped by a championship in their first appearance. And speaking of dreams, Falcons quarterback Chris Chandler hopes to parlay the birth of his baby daughter into another happy day.
Whether I'm going to make it happen regardless, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely on a roll that doesn't happen very often to anybody.
The Super Bowl on CBS Radio Sports.
Sunday at 4 on Sports Radio 1300, The Zone.
Our David Matt Millen in the booth. We go into the stands with Steve Goldstein standing by with a noted tie salesman.
Indeed. Garrow, you're premium with me right now. And Garrow, the kicker's missing all kinds of kicks here today.
It's very unusual that Morton Anderson will miss from a short distance like 30 yards and in. And the same thing with Jason Elam. It looks like they're missing left and right. And, of course, the Falcons are self-destructing at this time.
Well, it was some time ago, but the play in the Super Bowl, you got to talk about a little bit on that field goal, the attempted pass.
That's the only reason why I'm here. Sprint and Sprint PCS brought me over to reenact the pass play with Mike Bass. That's why I lost my voice. I've been talking to a lot of people the last 10 days here in South Florida.
Steve, thank you. Garrow with a unashamed sponsor plug.
Well, you know, when they pay, you got to speak up. It's that simple.
Well, what's happening right now is that, like what happened in the AFC Championship game, Jets gave the Broncos chances, and the Broncos played like champions and took advantage of it. And it's more of the same today. Tim Dwight on the return, in stride at the 6, running left to the 20, up the middle of the field, and finally tripped up. Otherwise, he is gone at the 30-yard line.
He is exciting, Howard.
Yes, he is.
He's going to go back to Iowa to run on their track team at the NCAAs.
So a timeout is taken. Denver has a 24-6 lead in the fourth quarter. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33.
As you listen to the game, remember, Diamond Shamrock backs your team all the way. Whether they play with a pigskin, puck, or shuttlecock is of no importance to us. We just want your team to win. So when your team has stomped the bejeebers out of whatever team it happens to be playing, head for Diamond Shamrock and celebrate that victory with a nice cold beverage, your favorite snack, and a tank full of our quality gasoline. Diamond Shamrock, we're for you. We're for everyone. Now, back to the action, whatever it is.
Starting Monday, you'll never see the world the same way again because you're going on the inside. And nobody takes you there like the Discovery Channel. Get behind the scenes. Get access. You're going on the inside. The premiere series every weeknight at 7 Central, 9 Mountain on the Discovery Channel. How do they put the cream in a Twinkie? Get the scoop on snacks you love both then and now on the inside of our favorite fun foods. Monday at 7 Central, 9 Mountain on the Discovery Channel. Explore your world.
I'm a flight attendant, and unfortunately my feet perspire a lot. They start to smell.
Dawn Pridmore of Alexandria, Virginia, talks about Gold Bond medicated foot powder.
With the Gold Bond foot powder, my feet stay dry and fresh and tingly.
Gold Bond medicated foot powder. Only Gold Bond absorbs moisture, controls odor with baking soda, and stops foot itch.
Gold Bond foot powder is very refreshing.
Gold Bond medicated foot powder. 3 foot relievers in 1. Use only as directed.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is CBS Radio Sports coverage of Super Bowl 33 on Westwood One.
Sports Radio! Sports Radio 1300. The Zone. KVET-AM, Austin.
So Atlanta with a football and running out of time. Almost a full quarter remaining, 14:46 left, fourth quarter, but Denver has a 24-6 lead. And you'd expect that Atlanta would be committed to throw, and that's what Denver's feeling. Cadre showing blitz up the middle. Chandler to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it out to the left, and a diving catch made by Santiago, the tight end. Enough for a first down at about the 43-yard line of Atlanta.
Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, has blitzed with a lot of success here today. He may not have gotten the sacks, but he's forced him into some pressure. And then the defensive linemen have gotten their hands up to tip a few balls as well. Chandler needs to play with. He's got to have the fourth quarter of his life right now.
Chandler 9 of 18 for 132 yards, and he's been intercepted twice.
Not good enough.
No, it's not. Mathis in motion again, the blitz being shown. The pitch to Jamal Anderson running right. Across the 45 to the 50. 45 of Denver and down to the 43-yard line. John Mobley is there for the Broncos, but a 14-yard run by Jamal Anderson.
He's got about 93, 94 yards. He's brought his A game today. The shame of it is they're not in a position to let him really show his stuff. They need to throw down right now by 18 points. They've got to be able to get on the board now. They've got to score. Denver is mixing their defense as well.
Kozlowski fronts Anderson in an I formation. Chandler looking at a 7-man front. Back to throw. Play action Chandler. Throws it out to the left on a rope and complete. to Tony Martin inside the Denver 30 to the 26-yard line in front of Darian Gordon. And a first down, a pickup of 16 more.
They'll show that deep cover, too, with their safeties way off the ball. And if they stay in that coverage, then you just work the outs because you'll run your corners in and they'll turn you over into the safety. Then you come right back to the outside. And that's what they've been hitting, the out ball all game long.
Atlanta's had 59 plays this year of 20 yards or more, 19 of those to Terrence Mathis, who's lined up on the right side.
They're getting into that dangerous territory again, which has killed them all game long.
Play action, Chandler, end zone, intercepted again. Darian Gordon at the 20. He's to the 30 with a caravan down the sidelines to the 50 and trapped there.
That's just on Chris Chandler. That's a poor throw.
49 yards on the return, and Darian Gordon with 2 interceptions in the game. He had 2 against the Jets in the AFC title game, and now 2 more.
Great play by Gordon. Gordon hung to the inside. They're going to try to hit the deep post. The ball was poorly thrown underneath. Gordon jumped back underneath the coverage, picked it off. That's all she wrote, boys.
Denver 24, Atlanta 6. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Contains a powerful non-aspirin pain reliever. Get fast relief for heartburn, upset stomach, and headache with...
Hey, this is your mouth talking. That tingling, itchy feeling we're starting to feel? It might just be a cold sore forming. For both our sakes, forget about them ordinary lip balms. Get you some real medicine. Herpecin L. Herpecin L is the only lip product with SPF 36 to help prevent cold sores from happening, plus a skin protectant to help them heal. And with dimethicone to soothe the pain and help keep lips from cracking. You don't like cold sores? Read my lips. Get real medicine. Herpecin L. Use only as directed.
Elway 1st and 10 at Atlanta's 48-yard line, and he's going to the air on first down. Steps up and dumps it over the middle, complete to Terrell Davis inside the 35. Breaks a tackle inside the 20. Down the sidelines to the 10 and bumped out of bounds by William White. A bad job of tackling or attempted tackling by Eugene Robinson. And once again, Terrell Davis makes a little into a lot for 40 yards.
And it's the wherewithal of John Elway to see it. Looks downfield. They just ran everybody off. They cleared the underneath. Terrell Davis just checked into the flat. And then it's just a matter of speed. And Eugene Robinson can't run. They take advantage of it and puts Elway over the 300-yard mark.
1st and goal, Denver at the 9-yard line. LaBelle in the game, and he gets the handoff running left inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. It is now time for Denver to take all hope away from the Atlanta Falcons. And with 11:50 left in the 4th quarter, they're on the verge of doing that with a 24-6 lead and more to come.
And that play to Terrell Davis, tired of out, he's on the sideline. John Elway used again his ability to make people miss. Because they had a pretty good rush. He stepped up, avoided it, and dumped it off and turned a nothing into a big play and about to start blowing this baby out.
311 yards passing for Elway, and John's got to take a timeout. The 4th 300-yard passing game in playoff history for Elway, and he's closing in on the all-time total yardage passing leader, Joe Montana. 24-6 Denver. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
William Shatner here. If you'd love to save money on airline tickets and hotel rooms, there's only one name you need to know. Priceline.com.
A great price on a quality name brand hotel. Thanks, Priceline.
I got a 4-star hotel at a 2-star price. Saving money on hotel rooms, home mortgages, and airline tickets is what Priceline is all about. Try Priceline.com on the internet or call toll-free 1-800-PRICELINE. I knew it. Saving money at Priceline.com is big, really big.
So, Phil, I heard Sid bugged out on the windshield of that all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh, yeah, there we were, buzzing on the wiper blades.
Yeah?
Yeah, I said, Sid, check out all that luxury in there. He looks in, he gets so excited, he leaps off the wiper blade and bam, no more Sid.
Wow, for the all-new Grand Cherokee, I'd give up nectar.
Are you kidding? I'd sting the queen.
The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee, the most capable sport utility ever, based on AMCI overall on- and off-road performance tests using available quadri-drive and V8. Jeep is a registered trademark of Daimler Chrysler.
You made an addition to your house. Or to your family. Protect it for as low as $19 a month.
Call Pivot toll-free at 1-877-55-PIVOT for a free term life insurance quote. We'll find you a guaranteed low rate, often less than $19 a month. For protection and savings, call toll-free 877-55-PIVOT or visit pivotinsurance.com. Pivot. Life insurance made simple.
We're talking with Dr. Marcus Lowe, physician and author, about how men over 40 can maintain a healthy prostate. Doctor, what's your professional advice?
Get an annual exam and take Propomex.
Why Propomex and not other prostate supplements?
Because most other supplements contain saw palmetto only.
And the unique Propomex formula?
Combines clinically tested standardized saw palmetto with pumpkin seed oil and zinc. 3 drug-free ingredients that support a healthy prostate and normal urine flow.
Thank you, Doctor. If you're a man over 40, be proactive with Propomex from SunSource at food, drug, and discount stores.
Denver trying to finally put this one away. Second and goal from the 3-yard line. Griffith in motion. Elway, quarterback draw to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown for the incomparable John Elway, who's on his way to his second consecutive Super Bowl victory.
And his first MVP. And you could see that one coming a mile away. And that, as soon as I saw the backfield set there going left to right, they went to that empty, and that opens the middle of your defense up. He took one step backward, fouled the block of Nalen and Schlereth, and Dan Neal did a good job. He was able to break the plane and get his 6 points.
Denver opening this one up, and it happened similar to the AFC title game in a hurry. Elam for the point after, which is good. The Denver Broncos looking to do something that hasn't been done too frequently in the past, win back-to-back Super Bowls. They lead at 31-6 with 11:20 to go in the game. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
Man, I'm starving. I wonder what's in the cupboard.
Well, if it isn't my son's Super Bowl champ, Neil Smith.
Mama, why you in my cupboard?
You have no idea what to eat for dinner, do you?
Well, actually...
Good thing I'm here. Take this chunky classic chicken noodle soup. It's loaded with big chunks of chicken, tons of noodles, and wholesome vegetables to fill you.
I know, Mom, to fill me up right.
I see you've learned a thing or two, son.
We do go through this every night, Mom.
Campbell's Chunky, soup that eats like a meal.
Welcome back to Pet Chat. So, Dr. Dean, tell us more about that really thick book you're holding.
Well, the nice thing is that the book covers everything from adopting a pet to coping with the loss of your pet. I should mention that in June we'll be releasing the paperback as the alternative to the hard... Oh, I can't believe I did that.
Never underestimate the importance of a good night's rest.
He's okay.
Oh, I feel terrible.
Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers. Call your travel agent or Courtyard.
ChocolateEpicure.com, where you can order the most decadent confections without ever leaving your home. So get online and get out your Visa card, because at Chocolate Epicure you can sample the world's best, but you can't use American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Fourth kickoff return for touchdown of over 90 yards in Super Bowl history. 3 of them here in Miami. One by Cincinnati's Stanford Jennings, one by Andre Coleman of San Diego, now Tim Dwight. The other one, of course, 2 years ago in New Orleans by a guy named Desmond Howard.
The other thing that happened was on that kick, there was a penalty against...
Necessary roughness.
There you go.
94 on the defense.
That's Keith
The penalty
Taylor.
will be assessed on the kickoff.
So now you're going to kick off at the 45-yard line, and you really, you'd have to consider an onside kick here. If your field position wouldn't be that bad, you might have to take your chance.
Vaughn Hebron's the only deep man. They got about 10 other guys within about a 10-yard span. And Morton Anderson has got it straight up right on the tee at the 45-yard line. We'll see if they do indeed try the onside kick. Pooch. And they do pooch it. And it is covered by Denver, and I don't think it went 10 yards anyway.
It didn't. It didn't. They were going to try it. Actually, he missed the kick. You got to hit the top of that ball and get it to bounce, and it never did.
Byron Chamberlain recovered it for Denver, and the Broncos will take over at a shorter field from their own 46-yard line. This is the most that Atlanta has trailed since Week 7 when they lost to the Jets 28-3. But that day, Chris Chandler did not play. Since then, Atlanta has won 11 in a row.
So here's the deal. You're down 31-13. They have got to stop the Broncos right here. And I would expect that Shanahan will give them a heavy dose of Terrell Davis. 8-man front.
Davis gets the call. Couple of yards up the middle, maybe more than that. Actually got to the 50, a 4-yard pickup with Terrell Davis with 10:50 to go in the game. Denver has a 31-13 lead over the Atlanta Falcons. 3 turnovers by Atlanta, and all 3 in Denver territory. Go back to the AFC Championship game. The Jets turned it over 6 times, 4 of those in Denver territory.
Denver's plus 11 in the playoffs this year in the turnover ratio. And then when you start getting them with regularity like that, you're tough to beat.
Denver scored 14 points off those Atlanta turnovers. Elway on the handoff to Davis, trying to run wide left, and they drop him at the 49 of Atlanta. And so it will set up a 3rd down. Chuck Smith is in on the play to meet number 30 for Denver, Terrell Davis.
Travis Hall is also there. Chuck Smith, Shane Gronett. They haven't played poorly. There have been times, however, that Jesse Tuggle's been isolated on Howard Griffiths, and Griffiths has won those matches. This is a 3rd and 5 and a big down for the Atlanta Falcons. Just under 10 minutes to play. You've got to stop him here to get the ball back if you have any shot at all. McCaffrey's been big on 3rd down in the second half.
He's lined up on the left side.
He's manned up on Buchanan.
Elway back to throw. Looking McCaffrey. Down the left sideline, right on time to McCaffrey. Inside the 30-yard line. McCaffrey finally dropped. Inside the 25, William White has to make the tackle, but McCaffrey fooling the Atlanta secondary. 25 yards on the connection.
Well, he's working outside on Ray Buchanan. Buchanan got a nice jam on him, and then he worked continuously down the sideline on the left side. Just as his power and strength, he threw Buchanan to the side and picked up the 1st down. Gain of about, what was it, Howard?
That was about 20 yards on the play, 25
yards. He's closing in on Joe Montana's all-time passing record for the Super Bowl.
Unofficially, Elway with 336 yards passing. Record's 351. Terrell Davis running left. Drives to just shy of the 20-yard line. Ed McCaffrey was shut out in the first half. He has 5 catches in the second half, 4 of those on 3rd down plays to convert to 1st down.
Well, that time it was all Ed McCaffrey against Ray Buchanan's a good player, but he just basically physically just threw him to the side. Buchanan came up to get the jab. He got him off balance and just swatted him to the side, was able to pick up that first. It's a big play by McCaffrey, and a nice job of the offensive line of protecting Elway.
Gain of 4. 2nd down and 6. Atlanta moving from left to, or rather for Denver, moving from left to right on your radio. They lead 31-13 with 8 minutes to go in the game. Elway on the pitch to Davis running left. And he is dropped. Jesse Tuggle just lowered his shoulder and dropped him after he gave a couple of yards.
Actually, he hit him nice, but he ran Tuggle over. Jesse's had himself that was a nice tackle, and it's going to set up this 3rd down again. And of course, if you sniff real deep, you can smell Ed McCaffrey again.
Yep. But, we talked about Terrell Davis. If he got 100 yards, it was going to depend on how he was going to do it. He shot 95 on 22 carries.
Yeah, see, and it's not a bad day, but it's not the Terrell Davis day that we expected. You have to credit Atlanta's defensive front for that.
Shotgun for Elway, 3rd down and 4 at the Atlanta 18-yard line. Elway looking left, throwing it down the sideline, and an over-shoulder attempt is incomplete. They were looking down the sideline for Willie Green, and the ball was slightly overthrown, defended by Michael Booker.
Well, he was lined up to the left side, and they were going man-to-man with Michael Booker with no help. 3 receivers to the right. They try to draw your coverage, and if Elway sees that, he's got to take the chance of trying to throw that fade to the left sideline, which he did, and it was incomplete because of the coverage of Booker.
Though Jason Elam to try a 37-yard field goal. He has missed 2 today. Morton Anderson has missed 1. Ruin to put it down, 37 yards away, and the kick by Elam is good. So Jason Elam extends the Atlanta lead to 34-13 with 7:08 left, 4th quarter. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
And now, what's on Stars? Stars is movies, and Stars has more new hit movies in prime time. Hits like Good Will Hunting, starring Robin Williams, and Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman. And Stars costs less than you think. So call your cable or satellite provider today and say, I want to see Stars.
I want movies, I want to see Stars.
Okay, car, start.
But I'm so cold.
Who said that?
It's your car, sugar. You know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
I need heat, baby.
Heat?
Heat gas line antifreeze. You hate it when I freeze up.
Well,
when you can't get me started.
Oh, yeah.
Just pour heat in my tank every time you fill me up. Really gets my motor running.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I'll get heat today.
You turn me on. HEET. Heat. America's #1 gas line antifreeze.
Here's the kickoff, and on the return, Kozlowski off a ground ball, picked off by Elam. Smart play by Elam. Kozlowski hit at the 23-yard line. Well, there's one thing Denver did not want, was another return for a touchdown for Tim Dwight.
Yeah, they're not going to let him get the ball in his hands, so they're just going to squib it down there on a ground ball kick.
Denver with a short field. Their average start in the second half, the Atlanta 48-yard line. They have run 29 plays, 25 from Atlanta territory. And they have taken advantage of 3 interceptions thrown by Chandler. Now Chris Chandler starting the drive at his own 24-yard line. Dwight in motion. Chandler back to pass. Throws it out to the left, tipped up into the air, incomplete. Oh, it was knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Neil Smith might have got his hand on it.
They're going with 3 wide receivers. They're just getting a push. It looked like it hit Alfred Williams in the back of the head. Chris Chandler.
Good defense.
Well, using your head anyway.
Ooh.
Chris Chandler has not had a stellar game.
No, 10 of 21 for 149 yards and 3 interceptions. Now out of a shotgun, 2nd and 10 from the Atlanta 24. Blitz being shown. Chandler to throw. Has time. Now steps up. Now rushing with the football to about the 30-yard line. He was chased out of the pocket and finally dropped by Tanuvasa.
Tanuvasa had some good wheels. They came with the zone blitz. Forced him out of the pocket. Tanuvasa picked him up from behind. Chandler's been sacked twice and hit 3 times and 3 interceptions. It's not been a good night for him.
Atlanta 1 of 6 on 3rd down plays. They have missed 5 in a row. Now they have a 3rd and 4 from their own 30-yard line, and Chandler out of a shotgun. Short snap to Chandler, backpedals, looks to the left, throws it down the sideline, and a nice catch is made by Tony Martin across the Atlanta 45-yard line.
Howard, that's only their 2nd 3rd down conversion today.
That's it. That's 17 yards on that play. You know, let's talk about the thing we spoke about at the top. Eugene Robinson last night gets caught, denies it, soliciting a prostitute. It turned out to be a police officer. And Eugene Robinson has had a nightmare day here in Super Bowl 33.
Yeah, and Tony Martin's down on the sideline, but it's not because he got beat physically. And part of that, a lot of that is good game plan by Shanahan.
Here's Chandler to throw, and again it is deflected at the line of scrimmage. But you brought up the point, Matt, not to belabor the issue about Eugene Robinson. You brought up the point that, maybe his night last night, which was rough, and he was up explaining perhaps to his wife and so on, didn't get to bed till 3, 4 in the morning. The whole routine is upset.
Yeah, it is. It's really upset. Really, the worst thing that happened today was that big 80-yard play. He got way too high in his coverage, and whether he was fully awake or fully asleep, that was a mismatch when it came to running with Rod Smith's speed versus his.
Rod Smith had a big first half, quietly second. Chandler now 2nd and 10. Backpedaling, looking left, dumps it out of the backfield to Jamal Anderson, and he is brought down in Denver territory at the 49-yard line by Darius Johnson, who has 1 interception today.
Jamal Anderson is probably not going to get his 100 yards, and he would have. I mean, he played very well today. The difference in this game wasn't so much the running. It's been the turnovers and the lack of passing by Chandler. And but you can't dog Chandler. You have to credit the Denver defense because they've played a superb game.
Yes, they have. And lead it 34-13 with 5 minutes left. 3rd and 6. Chandler out of a shotgun. Looking to the right. Pumps, throws over the middle, and a diving catch is made for a first down by Terrence Mathis at the 40-yard line of Denver. Well, the Falcons have yet to score an offensive touchdown in this game. You'd have to go back to Super Bowl 9 for the last time a team was held without an offensive touchdown.
Who was that?
Minnesota.
To Super Bowl 9.
Chandler going without a huddle. 10 out of a shotgun at the 40-yard line. They work the inside handoff to Anderson, and he is tripped up. That's a curious call, given the amount of time left and the amount of points you got to try to make up.
Now they're going to try to catch him off guard by dropping everybody in coverage, but a nice job of staying at home on the inside by Trevor Price and also Washington.
Marvin Washington, the one-time New York Jet. Now in a backup role with Denver. 2nd and 7. Chandler under center now. Throws it quick out to the left to Mathis. Isolated on the corner, Crockett. And he is brought down inside the 35 at about the 33-yard line.
He didn't get out of bounds. Can't do that. Time is precious. It's more important than the extra yard. Get your rear end out of bounds. You're going to go to 4th downs anyway. Now you're at the 3.5-minute mark.
Well, Denver on their way to their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl win. They would be the 7th team to win back-to-back Super Bowls. Dallas was the last, 92 and 93. Shotgun for Chandler. On 3rd and 4, takes the snap, rushes on, throws it over the middle, and it is nearly picked off. Tim Dwight, the intended receiver, and Romanowski was out in front of the lane.
Romanowski was there. John Mobley, the Kutztown Golden Bears, zone defense, and trying to force Chandler to be perfect. Because of the incompletion, it'll set up this 4th down and about 4.
Well, they say you have to learn how to lose a Super Bowl before you learn how to win one. And Atlanta, down 21 points, is on the way to losing their first appearance in a Super Bowl. 4th down play. Chandler, deep drop, throws it out to the right. It's complete to Mathis. Ray Crockett takes him out at the 24-yard line of Denver. That stops the clock with 3:02 to play.
Pretty nice job of protection. What I like what Greg Robinson does is he'll blitz you on 3rd and short or 4th and short, or critical situations. He'll force you to have to make a decision. That time it was well blocked up front, particularly by Jamal Anderson, and allowed Chandler to be able to find Mathis for the first.
Mathis, 6 receptions for 81 yards.
Last time they were here, they threw an interception.
Ronnie Harris now in the game as an extra receiver. Chandler with a deep drop, throws it over the middle, and it's complete to Ronnie Harris inside the 20-yard line at about the 16. Romanowski is there, and Denver is content to give Atlanta 8, 10, 12 yards because time continues to move.
You're going to have to start thinking about stopping that clock right about here. They've got themselves all 3 timeouts, and you're going to take one right here.
Chandler strolls to the line of scrimmage as if he had all day. 2.5 left in the game. 34-13 Denver. Chandler, deep drop. Steps up in the pocket. Throws it into the end zone. Incomplete. Overthrows Tim Dwight, who was open in the right corner of the end zone.
For all of you listeners, remember this name of Tim Dwight, because he's going to be a player. He will give you everything he has. He's got great speed. He has to learn how to run routes, but he is going to be, he's exciting. And once he gets integrated into this offense fully, they're going to get big things out of him.
The rookie from Iowa, only 5'8", and runs like a fast deer. I don't know how many slow deers there are, but he's faster than any deer I've seen lately. 3rd and 2, Atlanta. 13th play of this drive as Chandler throws it out to the left. A quick pass to Ronnie Harris and out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
That was smart. Ronnie Harris is lined up, and Ray Crockett gave him about a 12-yard cushion, said, fine, take it. Well, they did, and set it down. Takes it down to about the 4-yard line, 3.5-yard line. Stops the clock at the 2:17 mark.
Well, for a long time, Atlanta has been at the bottom of the NFL barrel. Well, they have come a long way in a short period of time under Dan Reeves. And it seems that this ride has finally come to a screeching halt in the Super Bowl. Chandler from the 3-yard line. Takes the snap, looks to the left, sets up, throws, incomplete, tipped in the air, and nearly intercepted by John Mobley. Cadrez got a piece of it, Romanowski as well, and they almost had their 4th interception.
Heck, that ball looked like the last piece of meat in a starving group of guys, didn't it?
You got the last piece of meat in your house when you were growing up.
They were diving all over. I would have gotten that one. But it was flopping all over the place. He tried to hit Tim Dwight in the back of the end zone, Atwater tipped it, and then a whole host of guys went up for it, including John Mobley, Glenn Cadrez, and Atwater, and it sets up this 2nd and goal from the 4.
Chandler under center. Backfield is split. Chandler back to throw, looks to the right, throws, incomplete.
Oh, good defense by Mobley.
They were looking for Santiago, and John Mobley was there, and so Tyrone Braxton, who stripped it.
Braxton broke on that beautifully. He had a man-to-man, and that's a tough place to have him on the goal line. He just drove in the ball from the inside out and got that inside hand up and knocked it down. My mistake, I said Mobley, and it was Braxton, like you said.
Well, and Broncos start looking alike.
When they're playing this well, they all look good.
3rd and goal at the 3-yard line. With 2:08 left, 34-13 Denver. Chandler, quick throw in the middle, and it is caught. Touchdown. Touchdown to Terrence Mathis. A little bit late, but Terrence Mathis with his 7th reception of the day.
Every touchdown is accompanied by a whole bunch of fireworks. And as soon as you score, the whole stadium gets a certain glow to it. Mathis lined up wide to the right and just came down in short motion, ducked underneath the tight end, so the tight end acts as a screen to your coverage. And then Chandler just gives like the old pop pass underneath right in front of Mobley, and it's 6 points.
Atlanta apparently going to go for 2. Don't quite understand why they're doing it, I'll be honest with you. They're 15 down. Chandler, play action, rolling left. Misses the pass, incomplete, but I don't understand the whole reason for that. What's the point of going for 2? You're down 15. The extra point makes it 14. It's 2 touchdowns no matter what. Now you need 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion.
Well, it's still 2 touchdowns.
But you kick the extra point, you're still down 14 points.
But to win, you'd have to have a... You're right. You'd still have to have a 2-point conversion in there to win. I don't know.
They're thinking about tying the game, Matt, not winning.
It's a bad call.
I thought you were going to give me one of the... That's dumb.
No, I would say I'd stick more with the stupid side. There's a difference.
Don't forget to join us again next Sunday for the final game of the season. AFC, NFC All-Stars go to Honolulu. It's Pro Bowl live from Aloha Stadium. Join me and Matt Millen at 5:45 Eastern Time. If it's the NFL, it's on CBS Radio Sports. And Bill Belichick will be coaching the AFC team with the Jet staff minus the Big Tuna. Got a note from his doctor, and he won't be going over there.
And that 2-point conversion, they missed a handoff. It looked like they were going to try to run for it with Jamal Anderson, but Martin, who they threw to the outside, was still blocking by the time that Chandler rolled to the outside, so it had to have been a running play.
I didn't like the whole concept. I thought it was foolish.
That would put you at 34-21.
Yeah,
just down 13 and 2 touchdowns wins.
You can't be thinking about winning the game when you're still 2 touchdowns down. But that aside, Anderson will try the onside pooch kick. Chamberlain makes the catch on another bad attempt by Morton Anderson, who might need some onside kick practice. 2 minutes left in Super Bowl 33. It's 34-19 Denver. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
I'm with star running back Terrell Davis in the Denver Broncos locker room. Terrell, you were awesome today. Let me ask you.
Terrell, time for your chunky soup.
Mom, I'm in the middle of an interview.
It's Chunky Sirloin Burger with loads of vegetables and beefy sirloin burgers grilled to perfection. It's gonna fill you up right.
Thanks, Mom.
Are those burgers grilled on miniature grills with teeny tiny spatulas?
Now you're asking the tough questions.
Campbell's Chunky Sirloin Burger. Soup that eats like a meal.
Works on steel, works on machines. It's a whole new breed of Wolverine.
Wolverine's fusion construction with Durashocks delivers the most durable breed of boot you ever owned. The most comfortable too, guaranteed.
Works underground, works up on beams. It's a whole new breed of Wolverine.
Boots and shoes since 1883. Wolverine works anywhere.
Publicist Carrie Aisley discusses The Yellow Pages by John Lovitz.
He gets fan mail from all different kinds of people. Dear Mr. Lovitz, my 8-year-old wanted something different for his birthday. Please see enclosed photo. Thank you. It's a picture of the 8-year-old on a unicycle. So what did she do? She opened up the Yellow Pages. She got an idea, probably a host of ideas, and if it wasn't for the book, he probably wouldn't ever have a unicycle. Who knows how this could change his life? He could become a clown one day.
Get an idea. Open The Yellow Pages.
Atlanta goes 16 plays, 76 yards in 5 minutes and 4 seconds. And although Denver wasn't terribly thrilled about giving up a touchdown, they still made Atlanta take a long time to do it. 14 plays, or 16 plays on that drive. Well, Denver's John Elway claims that this could be his last game. A lot of skeptics say, nah, maybe he wants to come back to make it 3 in a row. He just might. The way
I hope so, for the sake of the National Football League.
The way he looks, it's not like you're talking about a player who's at the end of his career and looking bad.
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe hanging around too long. This guy's got plenty left. McCaffrey, who's had a big part of the game, goes in motion to the left. Terrell Davis running left. Not much there. He gets about a yard. Denver has Atlanta has all 3 timeouts left. They use one here with 1:53 to go in Super Bowl 33. 34-19, Denver.
They have, the Atlanta Falcon defense did not play poorly in the running game. And does he have 100 yards yet? Davis still doesn't have 100 yards. He's at about, 95, 96, the same thing Jamal Anderson has.
Well, you know, Atlanta only gave up one 100-yard rusher during the course of the year, and that was to Curtis Martin of the Jets. That was a game that they didn't have Chandler on the offense, and then defensively they were hurting that game. They lost some players during that game and wound up losing it 28-3.
Well, he'll probably get his 100-yard right here. It's 2nd down and 10. They're going to continue to feed him. And that will, tie John Riggins or break John Riggins?
That would break the record for most 100-yard games in a row in postseason. High formation. Griffith now slides to the right. The handoff to Terrell Davis inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. And Atlanta spends 2nd of 3 timeouts with 1:46 to play.
Picked up 3. He's at 99. 98.
Sounds like you're Dick Clark on New Year's Eve.
98 run. How would that go? I don't even know.
98 bottles of beer on the wall. You want to go that route?
98 yards. It's been a tough 98 yards. They've played well.
Yeah. Turn it over if you want to win. And Atlanta turned it over. And they turned it over in Denver territory.
Denver right now, it's the best feeling in the world. When I was on the sideline for a back-to-back Super Bowl with the San Francisco 49ers, and you just feel there's no better feeling in the world because a lot of things can be taken from you. Heck, you can even lose your ring. But they can't take away that memory and feeling of being the best in your sport.
3rd and 7, Denver. On the Atlanta 34-yard line. And Terrell Davis getting the call again and just burrows his way to the 30-yard line.
There's his 100 yards.
He's over 100 yards, and Atlanta spends their 3rd and final timeout. Well, Terrell Davis said, I'm just running to the finish line with my head down, and when I get there, I'll look back to see what happened. And what he's going to see is the Vince Lombardi Trophy.
What a great year he's had. What a great year John Elway has had. Not his whole Denver team.
Well, now, if you're Elway, you think about it. We've spoken about it a few times in this broadcast. Elway's still got a lot left. He's not like a guy who's just hanging on for glory's sake, and it's not like the way that Willie Mays hung on or Mickey Mantle held on or Muhammad Ali kept coming back. But it's more like Michael Jordan, maybe not to that extreme because he's not the dominant player perhaps that Jordan was in the NBA, but he's certainly got plenty of life left in his arm and his legs.
There's no question. It would just be the mental rigors of coming back again and physically, having to come back week after week because it's a grind.
4th down for Denver. Elway to throw. He wants a touchdown, and somebody made a mistake by the name of Rod Smith because Elway was going touchdown, and Rod Smith ran the route about 20 yards shorter than that, and so Atlanta will take over on downs.
And did he get his 100-yard, his 7th 100-yard game? Yes, he did. He ended up with 102.
Oh, a big game for Terrell Davis, a big game for John Elway, over 300 yards passing. He is just a few yards shy of Joe Montana's career Super Bowl yardage record for most yardage thrown by a Super Bowl quarterback, and that's not enough necessarily to bring him back for another try, but 3 Super Bowls in a row?
Just watching John Elway walk off the field, he's yelling at Tyrone Braxton. He said, don't give him nothing. Look at the score. It's 34-19. Don't give him anything.
1:34 to go in the game.
They got to score quick if they want anything.
And the fastest man they've got, Tim Dwight, I don't believe is in the game right now. Ronnie Harris is in the slot to the left side. Chandler throws it over the middle, complete to Jamal Anderson, trying to run for the sidelines, and the Broncos, they take the ball away. It is picked up. George Coghill knocked it loose, and then Tyrone Braxton picked it up.
He listened to Elway.
The fourth turnover by Atlanta, the first fumble. Jamal Anderson puts a little scar against what was a pretty good day for the Atlanta running back.
Well, Jamal Anderson was going to try to get out of bounds, but Coghill does a great job forcing him back in. And then Anderson tries to jump up back inside, and Coghill stripped the ball. Tyrone Braxton listened to Elway on the sideline, picked it up. And that's it, boys.
How many yards does Elway have, total yards for this game?
Maybe 335.
He needed 351 to beat Montana. He has 336. And John Elway is Super Bowl 33's most valuable player. But Elway is not going to throw. He's not going to do that and rub it in the face of Atlanta. And good for John. He's a class act in every way. They'll just take an E. Atlanta has no timeouts left. He takes an E for the first down. And Dan Reeves, who has had obviously a strenuous year with a bypass surgery, has to be very proud of his football team and where they have come from where they were 2 years ago.
I don't think there's any question. In fact, I believe watching what Dan Reeves has done and achieved in 2 years is one of the reasons there were so many coaches fired.
John Elway going off the field, helmet off, raising his fist to the crowd, and replaced by Bubby Brister, who played a key role in this season for Denver. When Elway was injured, Brister was 3-0 with this crowd. A knee taken by Brister, and they won't have to make another snap. Super Bowl 33 will go to the Denver Broncos. The final score, Matt, a little closer than the game, really, 34-19.
34-19, Elway wins the MVP, and the Broncos are the sixth team in NFL history to win back-to-back.
John Dockery's on the field with one of the Broncos. John?
Yeah, really. I'm here with Darian Gordon. 2 interceptions win for you guys. What's it like the second time around? Feels great. You know, it's just as good as the first. You know, to get in a situation like this, you know, the world is watching. You know, it's the pinnacle of your career. You know, it's a great feeling. Yeah, I get a sense that the team is trying to make a statement, too. What are you trying to tell people out there about Denver Broncos? Repeat, you know what I mean? If we can keep everybody around, you know, maybe John will come back for one more year. You know, I think we have a great chance next year to come back here. Defensively, your game plan, I mean, you got the turnovers, you made it happen. Tell me about it. Well, you know, we kept Chris Chandler confused with a lot of different looks. You know, guys up front did a great job with the pressure. And, you know, we got some tip balls, and, you know, he made some bad decisions. Congratulations, 2 interceptions, Darian Gordon. Okay. Howard?
All right, John. Well, 2 interceptions for Darian Gordon today. 2 interceptions by Darian Gordon in the AFC Championship game. The final score, Denver 34, Atlanta 19. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
For a smooth ride, get the right shocks. And if you want a Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury, now's the time at participating Lincoln, Mercury, and Ford dealers. Now shocks for your car are just $69 or less per pair installed. Quality care service. The right people, the right parts, and always the right prices.
Taxes extra. Excludes vehicles with struts, air ride, or electronically controlled suspensions. See dealer for the price and details through March 28, 1999.
At your service, quality care. I hope I see you there.
Friends, it's Larry King. Just like I do, Larry Hughes of Fullerton, California gets emotional and physical support from Harmonex.
I was taking everything in. At night, I'd be tossing, turning, and thanks to Harmonex, I'm more joyful and happy again like I used to be.
Harmonex contains a unique combination of St. John's wort to keep your spirits up and Siberian ginseng to help keep you going physically.
Harmonex is drug-free. I can function and feel really good about myself.
Harmonex from SunSource at food, drug, and discount stores.
Time now for the stars of the game, brought to you by Stars Movie Channel. For Denver, well, there's only one, and his name is John Elway. John Elway had 336 yards passing. John Elway ran for 1. John Elway didn't get sacked. Credit to his offensive line. For Atlanta, Jamal Anderson, 96 yards rushing. Forget the fumble. He had a pretty solid day. They're the stars of the game. Stars has more new hit movies in prime time. Contact your cable company for Stars.
I thought there were a couple of good plays today. I thought Rod Smith turned in an excellent first half and was the difference on that big play. And then I thought Glenn Cudrez had himself a pretty good football game as well. Played a very solid defensive football game.
Once again, let's check in with Steve Goldstein. Goldie?
Okay, guys, Bill Romanowski, another Super Bowl ring. It's been a long run. It's got to feel great tonight.
It feels awesome. This is what it's all about. You know, you play the game to win championships, and, we are fortunate to come out here and win another one.
You've now gone back-to-back twice. That's unbelievable.
Yes, it is. I feel very fortunate and blessed, but a hell of a job.
Defensively,
football players.
And 4 turnovers tonight. You can't ask
That's what it's all about. We had turnovers in the red zone, and we kept them from scoring. That's what it's all about, winning play and making plays in big games.
Bill, thank you. Back upstairs, guys.
All right, Steve Romanowski, of course, Super Bowl ring with the San Francisco 49ers. Also played briefly with the Eagles, but maybe it's all those pills he's taken, but he's a lot faster and quicker than he used to be.
Romo's always taken good care of himself, and he's always been a smart, heady football player. We saw a couple of those tonight. I think, we've talked about the mistakes that the Atlanta Falcons made, and I think I've been remiss in not talking about how well the Denver Bronco defense played in certain situations, particularly in the red zone. They shut them down completely, except for the last touchdown. And by that point, you were just giving throws underneath. You were going to give that away, but they had a good game plan, and they executed it.
And John Dockery standing by with one of the Broncos.
One of the Broncos, and the star of the second half, wide receiver Edward Capri. What happened in the first half? You were kind of quiet, and then you came alive in the second half.
Well, we played a great defensive team. Personally, Buchanan was on me, and Rod had a chance to go one-on-one and beat some different zone coverages. Had a great first half. Had a great game. And, hey, we have a lot of weapons on our team. You never know where the ball's going.
Certainly. What about the second time around? You win it again. What's it like compared to the first?
It feels just as sweet. I mean, you work your whole career, your whole season to get a chance to win a Super Bowl, and there's a lot that goes into it. Talented players, talented coaches, hard work, and a little bit of luck, and it all came together for us, and it feels wonderful.
We're going to talk about Elway's last game. What are you feeling? You know him well.
I'm not smart enough to know whether it's his last game or not. We hope not, but if it is, he sure picked to find a way to go out.
What was your game plan going in against them?
Score points and keep them from scoring points. No, I mean, honestly, they have a great defense, great offense. We knew we were going to have to make big plays and close plays to win the game. We knew we were going to have to not turn the ball over and score in the red zone. We did it most of the time, not every time, but that's what happens when you face a great team.
But you came out very aggressively as well. You spread them out and stretch that defense.
We have confidence in our offense. We have a lot of weapons, and we need to take advantage of all of them. We lost Shannon early. Byron Chamberlain, Dwayne Carswell came in and played great games.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Howard?
All right, Doc, clearly McCaffrey's time at Stanford didn't go wasted. He said the key to the game is you got to score points to stop the other guys from scoring.
Well, that goes back to his upbringing, back in Allentown, Pennsylvania. At the Allentown Central Catholic Answer. They're still doing the same thing. He, of course, will be on to his first Pro Bowl this week, where you and I will get to see him and enjoy his play again in one more game.
It's interesting. One of the things we talked about, and I saw it firsthand in the AFC Championship game against the Jets. Testaverde picked apart the corners of Denver really well and did an outstanding job. They turned the ball over, yes, the Jets did, and it cost them the game. But they picked on Gordon, who still had 2 interceptions against the Jets. They went after Crockett. Atlanta, after watching that, it was their secondary that was picked apart, not the Denver secondary.
And that comes down, really, when you look at, Elway throws for 335 yards or whatever it is, 80 on one play. The biggest thing that they did was they kept them off balance. And that, I think you have to credit the game plan, the coaching staff, and Shanahan's ability to call a game. Calls it very aggressively. I love the big 80-yard touchdown throw, especially after the missed field goal, and kind of took the wind out of the fourth down conversion. They went right after him. And when he's on the top of his game, and he did that with regularity all season long, they're really tough to beat because they put you in tough situations defensively.
We spoke of the keys to the game before the game. Atlanta, for them, they had to take the game to the fourth quarter. They were unable to do that. They had to play from the front. They were unable to do that. They had to not turn the ball over. They were unable to do that. Let's join the celebration on the field. NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue presenting the Vince Lombardi Trophy to the Denver Broncos.
Paul Tagliabue will give the Vince Lombardi Award which is emblematic of the world champions, to Pat Bowlen, owner of the Denver Broncos.
Pat and Mike, you faced a very, very tough Atlanta Falcons team at the top of its game. But today, your team, the Denver Broncos, kept another outstanding season with a dominating performance. Congratulations to the two of you and to the whole team on becoming the first AFC team in almost 20 years to win back-to-back Super Bowls. And a special word to you, John. If, and I underline if, this is your last game, on behalf of millions of fans around the world, I want to say thank you to you for so many memorable memories. John Elway, thank you.
the Super Bowl since you own the Denver Broncos. I have to suspect that the best two moves that you've made as owner, number one was bringing Mike Shanahan back.
Well, John Elway, an MVP performance. John Elway, who for years was saying he's the best quarterback, never won a Super Bowl. Well, he's done it back-to-back years. Let's go back to John Dockery.
Howard, I'm with Neil Smith, and Neil carrying his son and his daughter with him, and this is a family celebration, huh, Neil?
It is, man. I tell you, this is great. I tell you, we put it together when we really needed to. We was criticized defensively. We put together a defensive plan today. We executed it, and it worked for us, baby. That's the way to go.
Can you describe the feeling out here? I mean, we're a huge crowd, confetti coming down. You are the champions again.
Well, we are. We put it on the line. We know what was at stake, and we just put it on the line, and that turned the ball over. We took it away from them. We did the perfect thing today. That's way.
And what a season you had. You thought you might go undefeated, and that monkey got off your back. You came here strong and just took it on through.
I think we needed that wake up. When we lost to the Giants, a lot of people wrote us off. That wasn't our ultimate goal. It would have been nice to go undefeated, but we had a chance to get knocked off. But then we came down to rest where we can really settle down and really get focused on what we have to do.
Congratulations on number 2.
Thank you, baby. Sweet.
All right, Howard.
Neil Smith, who might still be out of breath from his 79-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown against Miami in the second round of the playoffs. But, here's a guy, Neil Smith, that part of the bigger puzzle. And the bigger puzzle is that it was impossible for teams to run against Denver in the first 2 games of the playoffs. Atlanta was able to run today with Jamal Anderson. But the bottom line is you just can't give a championship club all the opportunities that Atlanta gave them today with 4 turnovers.
Yeah, and Howard, there's a simple recipe to win in this league. And it sounds simple, it's hard to do. It's 2 things you need. You need players and you need somebody to coach them. Well, they were able to go out and get some of the pieces of the puzzle. You draft a Terrell Davis, you get lucky in the 7th round, you get a Neil Smith, you get Romanowski, you start bringing people in. You get a good plan. You couple that with a guy like John Elway, and pretty soon you got yourself a pretty good football team, and they were able to do basically anything they wanted this year in a consistent basis.
Played like a champion. They played with the same confidence that won Super Bowl 32, that got them out to the 13-0 start. Once again, the final score, Denver 34, Atlanta 19. You're listening to exclusive coverage of Super Bowl 33 on CBS Radio Sports.
William Shatner here. If you're looking for the best